Yo, what's up, everyone? This is episode 119, I believe so, of the Blrd podcast. As always, we have Green Tuner.
Hello.
Dreamcast.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Dark Side.
Hello.
Hello.
He didn't hit puberty yet, but and as always, the best in the world, the best there ever will be, the Ed on the ground, baby. EDX.
Erectile dysfunction.
Just ED. Erectile dysfunction extreme.
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 Erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
It goes inwards.
Like, what?
He's at the doctor. He's like, "Hey, EDX." I was like, "Yeah, we know."
Oh my
we'll
goodness.
get you pills for that.
Yeah, we got that.
He gets hard inside himself.
Oh,
It's
I won't need
erection.
any pills.
I'm erected is inside. Hell yeah.
I won't need any pills because my cholesterol is pretty good. Unlike 3 other people's. So,
I
just got
what the
it.
fuck? And my cholesterol's actually really good.
Yeah, my cholesterol's gotten better.
Yeah, I
actually.
just had my screen. It was actually really good.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
I don't even know one.
You're absolutely right.
Horrible.
Yeah.
No, Green Tune, yours is fine. You're like, aren't you like a straight, like, you don't eat meat, right?
He's a vegan.
He's
No.
a vegan. So yeah, you have the best
Not necessarily.
yeah, I mean, you're still fat.
There's a lot of shit. Well,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a
How's
lot
that
of
work?
shit.
What the fuck?
How you a
Food.
fat
Yeah.
vegan?
Exactly.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
pretty much. But no, I'm not vegan. I'm vegetarian.
He's American.
He's
that's
vegetarian.
why.
I've
vegetarian.
tried
He's
vegan.
American
It's way too
vegan. That's
difficult.
why.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has to eat that. He loves the eggs.
Yeah, it's the American vegan.
Yeah,
Even our
American
vegetables
vegan.
fat.
Yeah, we're counter stereotype, bitch.
Yeah. Like I still
The
eat
fucking
burgers.
broccoli's on steroids.
Yeah.
It's all fucked up.
Like he eats burgers and he just wraps it in lettuce. Like, yeah, this is still vegan, right?
Yeah, it's vegetarian.
Yeah.
I mean,
my
it's
goodness.
dipped. It's like
Just
covered in
drizzled
ranch,
butter
covered
on
in
all my
ranch
salads.
and
Marinated.
butter.
And chocolate.
Ranch and
Marinated.
butter on all my salads.
Ranch and nacho cheese are technically vegan.
Yeah, I mean, technically, yeah,
Technically
it is
vegan.
vegetarian,
it's
yeah.
vegetarian. It's
Yeah.
technically vegetarian. But yeah, the American diet, man, it will do something nasty to you for sure. And plus we're guys, let's be honest, we're old. Like we are not as active as we used to be. I
Speak
mean,
for yourselves.
Ed, Ed, you are an anomaly. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, no matter how much meat we put inside you, you just don't gain any weight, and I don't understand
Yeah.
why that happens. But trust and
Yeah.
believe, we're still gonna
Dreamcast
stuff.
has stuffed you. I've stuffed you.
Yeah.
I think Darkseid stuffed you. You've been stuffed with meat all the time. And look at
You
you.
guys hear these,
Yeah.
those watching and listening, these wild fantasies that will never come true. But go on.
No, I mean, okay, we'll say allegedly. You know, we'll just keep it out there allegedly.
Oh,
You know,
no.
don't want to
With
get
no
sued.
evidence.
I mean, Ed, all the evidence is inside you. So I mean,
Mhm.
that's just what it is, my friend.
False.
Talking about DNA.
Or DNA.
Talking about DNA.
DNA.
False.
You cannot dispute that.
Yeah. I mean, Ed, you're already 50% of me. So
Yeah.
um,
Sorry,
Which is true.
False.
The science
It's
is
been
against you on
absorbed
this.
into his system. Now he has our memories.
What in the world?
And I mean, you know, like I just found out something very interesting. So you guys ever like with cats, right? You ever see like a litter of cats and like half of them will be like one color, then the other half will be another color?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not know that cats can get pregnant at the same time by multiple fathers.
Cats.
Yeah, by other,
multiple-
other
wow.
males. Yeah, so
I
that's
didn't
why
know
you
Good
have.
thing none of us are cats.
Yeah, well, Ed, it's not like I'm gonna stop trying. Okay, you know.
Well, I
with-
mean,
with
never
you-
had the chance, but go on.
I'm talking about what you had. So, you know, we'll make this work somehow. I mean, immaculate conception. If you believe in that, it can still happen. Miracles happen all the time.
Go on.
Okay. He's interested. Okay. Only toes.
No.
He's
no.
like,
Trust me, not.
Only toes said, let's try that again. Yes, we did have a slight technical difficulty. Thanks to the Ed Underground.
False.
For some reason, he
Yeah,
just
you
messed
really
up the audio.
fucked that up this time, man.
Yes, like really, Ed, stop doing that. But yeah, this is take 2, and yeah, we're coming in live. So I mean, I'm assuming everybody's been doing good this past week. We all survived April Fool's Day, April 1st for us. I guess that's it. Is April Fool's an international thing?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah,
Doubtful.
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
No, it is. It's international.
International? Okay.
I don't
So
know how it became international, but that's one of those things that just is
happened.
international for some reason.
yeah, it's like,
I
did
don't.
NATO
I
get
don't know.
together?
I don't know if we started it. I think it might have started.
It sounds like an American thing, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. I think it's. I think it's European.
What is this like?
European.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I
does
could
like
be wrong.
did like NATO get together and we're like, hey, if you're gonna be a part of us,
They're like, all right. So
I can look it up.
for sure, we're making this new language. What the hell was it? Remember the language that NATO made?
wait, NATO made
At
a
one
language?
point, NATO made an international language, a language that was created that it was easy for everyone to learn. And that way, we would have like a worldwide language that would unite us all.
That is
Really?
crazy. I did not
Nobody's
know
ever
that.
used it.
I did not know this was a thing.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like I think it's called Esperanto. I think Esperanto. Let me see.
the NATO phonetic alphabet is a language that uses code words for each letter of the alphabet to prevent miscommunication
Oh.
and spelling errors.
Esperanto is the language.
Oh,
So it's a Latino language?
No.
It's-
It's
it
a
just- it
language that
sounds-
was created. It's a Latino. It was created
just
by some
sounds like
guy
it.
called Zamenhof.
Oh, he must have been like part Mexican or something. Huh?
well, it says the two main languages for NATO, right? Is the two official languages are English and French. So I don't know about this language that you're talking about. I believe you. I just can't
let me
find
see.
it. Which is interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting. I didn't know that NATO came up with their own language.
Yeah, Esperanto is the world's most widely spoken constructed international auxiliary language. Created in 1987, it is intended to be a universal second language for international communication.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm not gonna read through all of it.
Well, they said Esperanto is speakers are United Kingdom. The most speakers are based in the United Kingdom, Belgium, Brazil, the US, Poland, Italy, Germany, France, and I don't know why they put the US again. But yeah,
It's a joke.
but there's also speakers in China and Japan. Wow. Well, you learn something new. See, like you guys
I
come
mean,
here.
but at this point, language is the international language.
Language
I thought it was
is
music.
Oh, language
What?
is the language. Oh, that's what you're saying.
No, English is
English,
the
yes.
international language. Because literally, you can, for most business oriented countries, you can just go to like China and someone speaks English. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can go to like Italy and someone speaks English.
Especially in the touristy areas.
Yeah,
there's
exactly,
always
touristy
somebody
area,
that can
yeah.
speak English. So, no, that's very true. Absolutely. Even if you can speak, a little bit of the broken language of whatever country you're in, you can miss it. Like Spanglish, right? You can speak Spanish and put some little English in it, and people, for the most part, can understand to an extent what you're saying. So yeah, no, that's very true. English is kind of like the international language. But yeah, that's kind of cool. But so that's all I was gonna say. Like, you guys come to the Blrd podcast for entertainment purposes, and then you learn some new things about NATO. Like, you guys, I mean, we're just full of just mysteries and information that that you'll just never know. Thanks, Ed, for contributing nothing to that. But thank you, Green Tuner, for putting us on to Esperanto. And Darkside, just thank you for just being here. You're amazing.
I think my presence here made that conversation much more
Conspiracy.
Yes.
I felt smarter just by looking at Dark Side. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
It was Galaxy Brain, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Conspiracies.
I mean, he is the Nostradamus of our group, so he's just full
I
of
basically
knowledge.
was doing this while you guys were talking.
Wow.
And so
What?
all that like smart talk was like, oh, okay, Darkseid's right.
Yeah. It's amazing. He's really great.
He sounds Mexican today.
Right. He can change the pitch and tone of his voice. Is amazing. Absolutely great.
Yes.
So April Fools just passed, so there were some pretty cool April Fools pranks that were happening.
Pranksters.
Yeah, pranksters, and one person in particular that I believe did get fooled by one of the pranks out there was a prank that was done by IGN, actually. Darkside, I think you had mentioned it in our private group chat about this. And I believe that somebody on this podcast actually believed it to be true for at least 30 minutes. And actually, I think even though against all odds, somehow pre-ordered it as well.
Who would that be?
I don't know. Ed Underground. Would you know anything about this? Who
I
would fall for
wouldn't
that?
because I didn't click on any links that were sent in the chat on that day, so it wouldn't be me. I know that for a fact.
Interesting. Yet you
there's
knew
3 other
exactly
people.
what I was talking about. Interesting.
Oh, because you mentioned it in the chat.
No,
again.
I didn't say anything about it being a fool's joke or anything. It just
Oh,
mentioned it.
well, you or Creamcast mentioned it.
I
'cause,
didn't mention it.
for
I didn't say
one, I
anything.
didn't click on any links on that day.
Well, I guess
Sent
this
links.
is a mystery. This is a mystery.
It forever will be.
Yeah, I believe on IGN's webpage they said there was one pre-order. Once again, they don't know how this person was able to pre-order this, but they were able to fall for the joke in its entirety, which was a Nintendo Switch Virtual Boy. I am not gonna lie, it was a cool concept. I was talking to Green Tuner about this. It was one of the April Fool's jokes that looked actually realistic to an extent. I mean, the Apple Vision Pro just came out, right? It just came out. So this kind of falls into that category, I think, in April Fool's jokes, but also it could be actually like based in reality. Now, of course, they did silly things like people were playing Mario Kart in their cars while driving in real time, which obviously is not feasible since the Nintendo Switch does not have a camera on it. But it will still be a kind of a cool concept if you can get that Virtual Boy feel. However, obviously that will take a lot of technology. I mean, Nintendo has done weird things recently, right? Didn't they have that robot gadget stuff like made out of cardboard that you can put on your back?
Oh yeah,
that's still a thing though.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah, but it's not around anymore.
Yeah, it's not around anymore. But
it's not.
No,
I haven't heard of it in a long time, like years, right? It's been 2 years at least.
They came out with it and they were like, yeah, it's supposed to be like a cool way for people or like kids to have like hands-on stuff to like build things and use it in the real world, almost like a kind of a cardboard VR experience. And it kind of went nowhere. But that's what I'm saying. When Nintendo is known for doing some quirky, weird stuff like that, so that's why it almost felt like it could be real. So that was one thing that IGN did. Ed, you said wasn't somebody was making a joke that they were going back to IGN or something like that, or something like that?
Oh yeah, Naomi Kyle, a former IGN employee, tweeted that she was going back to IGN, and she's not. I knew that for a fact, and other people did too. But it's a pretty nice joke because she talked about never going back to IGN. So
why does she not want to go back to IGN?
Just want to do her own thing, and that's pretty much it. I mean, other people
hilarious joke, Ed. Hilarious. It was.
Well, I mean, she has a nice following, and it was just kind of a surprise that she left IGN. And then all of a sudden now she makes this joke. So, yeah.
What does she do now, Ed?
She's a YouTuber and cosplayer and stuff in that field.
So like 80% of the Twitch streamer base, basically.
Don't do that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure she makes more money than all of us combined, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I wouldn't say everyone combined, because but yeah, personally speaking, yeah, sure, why not? Of course, yeah, she's an attractive person that more people are willing to watch.
Of course,
yeah,
yeah. That way,
there's like a flood of attractive women at the like homepage of Twitch, so I'm pretty sure that's where most of the views are going. That's why I said 80% of the streamer base.
Sure.
Oh wow! I'm actually, to be fair, I am surprised her following is not as big as it is.
I am surprised too.
Yeah, she only has. I'm on her Instagram right now, and she only has 174K followers.
Who is this?
Naomi Kyle.
Naomi Kyle.
I barely remember her. I think she's obviously done some acting. It looks like.
I have no
Um,
idea who it is by name, but let me see.
Yeah, so she's done
You've
some.
definitely seen her before.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I remember her. Okay, yeah,
then she used to do.
Ed, weren't you obsessed with another one? Not Naomi Kyle.
Obsessed.
Who was the one
Why?
before?
Why are you doing
Who
that?
was the one
Obsessed.
before? Yeah. The IGN girls that they would just toss out there for the boys.
yeah, pretty
Oh,
much. It
wow.
was just
Olivia.
eye
Who was?
candy.
No,
No,
it
let's
wasn't
be
Olivia
honest.
Munn.
No,
This
Olivia.
is old
Something.
school, like G4 TV.
Yeah,
They were
she
just
was
eye candy.
Olivia Munn. Olivia
Olivia
Munn. Ed
Munn.
was obsessed with Olivia Munn.
Was it
Not
Olivia Munn that he was
obsessed.
obsessed with?
No. Ed, there was
It
another
was
one.
someone else. It was someone else.
Another one. I'd look it up.
Wasn't it like
Hold on, I
one
can
that
tell
had
you in
like
a second.
short
Ooh,
black hair?
No, it was on G4 TV. Yes.
G4 TV. Yeah,
Yes.
wasn't it
I don't
Olivia
know who
Munn?
You
you're
know
talking
the
about.
name, Ed. You know the name.
I actually don't.
I'll tell you in a second.
It was Olivia Munn. 100%.
Nope.
Wasn't it something
No.
Morgan?
No, it wasn't
Something
Morgan.
Morgan?
Morgan Webb.
Oh,
No,
Morgan Webb.
no,
Yeah.
Ed was not.
No.
Okay,
And
so
the-
are we looking
wait,
up
I
G4
thought
Oh,
it was
TV?
I got
Morgan
it.
Webb.
Ed, Jessica Chobot. You've talked about Jessica Chobot a lot.
Oh, she's cool.
Yeah. Oh, she's cool.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
The name sounds familiar.
Oh, I vaguely
Jessica
remember
Chobe?
obsessing
What's her
over her.
name?
Let me see. What's her name? Jessica.
Chobot.
Jessica
Chobot.
Chobot?
Chobot.
I forgot what she
Jessica
said.
That's like
Chobot.
a
But-
made up last
Oh
name.
yes, Ed
Oh,
was.
wow.
Yeah, Ed
Damn,
was
yeah.
obsessed with her.
Ed was obsessed over her.
Yes, I
not
remember.
obsessed.
No,
No, just a
Ed,
fan.
you.
Ed,
Just
you-
a fan.
No,
Ed,
you were
fan
you
my
were
ass.
super
Ed.
fan.
Yeah.
No, just a
Ed.
fan.
Like if she was,
Yeah.
if back in the day, selling bathwater was a thing back then,
No.
you would be
Mhm.
drowning in gallons of her water.
You would have
No.
drowned. You would have
You
been
drowned.
You would have been. Yeah. Your
Yeah.
tombstone would have said drowned.
No.
I mean, I
that's
don't
pretty
blame
cool.
you. She's very attractive.
no, she's
Yeah,
attractive.
she's attractive. Yeah.
Have good
yeah.
taste.
Yeah.
But I remember, yes,
You-
when
yeah.
G4 TV was
Oh
a
my
thing.
god,
And
yeah.
it'll be-
Ed is just annoying with some. Or what was the other one? Speaking of Jessica's, Jessica Alba.
Alba.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Oh my god, that's another
Not
one too
related
that
to
I just
G4
want
at
to stop
all.
bringing
No,
up.
no.
What?
Remember what Ed used to do? I barely remember this, but I remember when we used to go places, and there was a TV and nobody was watching anything. Ed would change to the G4 like TV channel, and just sit
Mm.
there and have it playing in the background. We're just like, dude, like no one cares about this, but Ed would be like, "Hey
You
guys."
sure I did that? Because I don't remember that at all.
No, I
Ed,
remember
you
that. Yeah.
Definitely did this.
Yeah,
Ed.
I remember we used to go to people's houses and he'd be like, "Is anybody watching TV?" No, it's turn to G4. You have cable, and be
It
like,
sounds
dude,
like you.
it sounds like
Lord. A whole
Ed,
lot
you
more than
definitely
me.
know it was not me. You definitely know it wasn't me back in the day. But
Yes.
and I was like, hey, don't try to play me like that because I have traumatized you a few times. You hanging out with me in the past. So but yeah, no.
Traumatized.
So we've heard.
Go on. Go
Yeah.
on, since you guys like to talk about me
My past
throughout
life?
the whole podcast. Go on.
My past
Continue.
life.
on.
Yeah, no, I used to be out there in the streets. You know that. But I changed.
Well, we may know that, but since you don't like to bring
listen,
up my stuff,
there was one
they
point
don't know
in
that.
time. Ed, hold on. There was one point in time when it was you, myself, Dark Side, He Who Shall Not Be Named, and two prostitutes in a condominium.
That's a good
Is that
story.
what it looks like?
But out of context, that's a terrible
Right? Doesn't
story.
it sound
It's a terrible-
way
yeah,
worse when you
terrible
say it like
startup.
that than what
There's
actually
a
happened?
story here.
Yeah,
But
if you stop it
I'm-
right there, yeah, if you
No,
stop
we're
right
not-
there,
we're
that's
not
all.
getting
getting into the story.
Nothing
Yeah,
But
let your
yeah.
imagination
No,
run
no.
wild.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened
with
with
those two people.
with all four of you guys. But maybe the fifth person. I know I wasn't. I think I was barely around. When they
Oh
were.
no, yeah,
around.
you weren't during that time. I think you would
I
have
think you
probably
had moved out
like
that time.
bolted if you were there. Probably you would have.
No,
been
no,
on
Probably
season.
not.
No, I was in college, so I was like
Oh
away.
yeah, you were in college.
Yeah, I was in college at the time, and I'd be away.
But to Only Toes and Flo Joe, you had to be there. That's all I could tell
Yeah,
you.
you had to.
Yeah, you had to
You
be
had to
there.
be there.
That's how we knew what speaking Greek is.
Oh,
knew all
yes.
the
From
terminology.
verbally being told.
Mhm.
I don't know.
There's an
No, no,
interesting
no. We
afternoon.
practiced it on that. I remember that very
False.
clearly.
There were some demonstrations for sure. I remember very vividly.
False.
I think then at the time you guys learned about spit roasting, all this other stuff. But
Yeah, it was a very educational night.
Oh, that was Ed. That was Ed. That was
Yeah,
Ed.
yeah.
False.
Yeah.
False.
Oh man, that was.
I
yeah,
just remember that day when I was driving to meet everyone, I just got a text from Darkside that literally said that. So like, hey, we're
I
here with 2
remember.
prostitutes. And I thought it was just being an idiot. And I was like, all right. And then I got there, and then sure enough, there were 2 prostitutes. And I'm like, what the fuck?
he who shall not be named had a thing. I don't know why they just flocked around him, but I remember meeting one of them. You guys told me about the second one, but I remember meeting the first one, and I remember like it was not even something that was hidden, right? It was like almost you could have stamped it on her forehead, and
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm a streetwalker, and
Wow.
I don't know how he who shall not be named always found them, but
So
mean-
he found the first one. That woman worked at a Denny's. Actually, he who
Yeah.
cannot be
Don't give
named and
too much
myself
details.
went to this Denny's.
Yeah,
and
and
met
don't get
that
into all
person.
the details, man. But yeah,
I'm just saying we
Just
didn't
let's
like
keep it-
we didn't
let's
like
keep it
go
at a
somewhere.
mystery.
oh
Like,
yeah, you
let's
guys
keep it
didn't.
at a
Yeah, you guys
mystery.
didn't find it. It's
Let's
not like
just
you guys
say-
went to a corner and be like, "Hey,
No.
do you want to be friends?"
Oh, no, no,
He
no,
who
no.
shall not be named.
This was unplanned from all of us except for he who shall not be named. That's why we
Yes.
found ourselves
But
in such
he was
a
like
strange spot.
he was like a savior though. He was like
He was the white knight.
he was definitely a white knight, and we were
It was
Yeah.
a white knight
involved.
for sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, he who shall not be named. I remember he just had a thing for oddities.
Broken toys.
Broken toys. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
he hit me up one day. Okay, will just be a quick story. I warned
Can we
him.
all-
I warned him one day. He found somebody on my Facebook, and he is like, "Hey man, she's really attractive."
Of course.
And I was like, "Dude, she's absolutely crazy. Just stay clear." And he was like, "All right, man. Thank you for the advice." And the next thing I know, the girl's like, "Hey, guess who I'm going to see this weekend?" And I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "He who shall not be named." I was like, "The fuck?" So I call him up. I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck?" He's like, "Man, just one thing happened. She really likes
One thing led
StarCraft,
to
man."
the other.
We started talking about StarCraft, and it's just like, dude. And then after she stayed over, and this person was at, it was like a play cousin. She stayed over, and then he cried about the horrible experience that he had, and I'm like, dude, I have warned you multiple times. This person's absolutely insane, but he had a thing for people who were not always there. And even I remember even the one prostitute, the one that stood around the longest, he would complain about her so much. And it's like, dude, like, I'm like, you like these broken toys. And then you complain about why they're not functioning, why they're always malfunctioning around your house.
While they're not
Yeah,
functioning.
no kidding.
Well, yeah,
It's like
that's why I'll be careful. I was like, they're not functioning. No, like, while they're malfunctioning all the time, and going crazy. So, man, yeah, he who shall not be named. I'm glad he's not on this podcast, because if he didn't stop talking to us before, he would definitely stop talking to us now.
He for sure.
No, we had to throw like a political thing for him to stop.
Well, let's not delve too deep into that. But yeah,
because he might be secretly watching, and he's gonna come out.
Holy shit! Yeah,
it's like the
If he is,
Undertaker.
Can I just say I miss him? I miss him.
I do.
of
miss
course.
Him.
I mean, I
miss him
too.
too.
I had no fault in anything, but yeah.
Yeah, we all
No,
miss him.
no,
It's just
I'm not gonna lie.
fucking-
Ed was the most innocent out of all of us.
The heck I was.
I think it was.
Ed was what we like to call innocent bystander.
He
Yeah.
was. Like, you know, our jokes with Ed usually goes into our friend group as well, in private chats. And for, you know, the tides were turning, Mercury was in retrograde. We don't know what was going on. And we started the funny thing is we weren't making fun of this friend, but he got really upset because we made some political jokes.
Yeah.
And
hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This was at the height of the 2016 election.
Yeah, 2016 election,
Yeah.
the height of it. Trump was, steamrolling at this point, and we made a joke. And honestly, it wasn't even like a horrible joke. It was
a nothing joke.
It actually was
all the
nothing.
shit we talk about. It was nothing.
It was literally nothing.
Well,
The next,
the thing is, we also make fun of our own people that we
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
Like
we do,
political.
we do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we're
don't we're not
fair.
we're not politically like tied to one party, and we're like, oh, we don't joke
Yeah.
about we joke about everybody. But man, I have, you know how they show like people who like, man, everything Trump does, I sniff his draws. Like if he puts balls on the auction, I'm gonna buy them. Like crazy stuff. Like this is how your friends, you know, watch over your friends and be careful. You know, when like politics and election season comes around, people will change, and I was not expecting that out of him.
Yeah,
Of all
completely
people,
caught me off guard too.
Yeah,
He
'cause
was casualty
It
of
took
the
us
2016
all by
election.
surprise because
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was a joke at first. I'm like, no way.
he's gonna come
I
These
mean,
back.
people are gonna
be
come
hon-
back or something.
Yeah, just waiting for
be
that
honest with
joke to end.
Hey, yeah, sorry, I froze up you guys, but be honest, how many of you guys during during the January 6th riot were looking closely in the crowd?
Yeah,
With
me
like-
too. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
oh,
that's him.
shit.
That's him. Nah. So that's just another white
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I-
We're all just waiting for the shaman to turn around.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
like,
I
oh.
was like, I was waiting for him to be the lead guy. I was like, I fucking knew
No,
it. Go, guy.
it was going to happen.
The same height and everything. Like, wait a
I know
minute.
that guy.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie. If I knew that guy, I would be.
And then the
we
FBI comes knocking.
You're
He's like,
such a
I don't know
dickhead.
that guy.
I don't know them.
Wow.
I never met this guy in my life.
Did you just say same height
Yeah.
and everything?
It ran the
Oh
analytics.
damn, man! What the
Nobody got that.
fuck?
Wow, Ed.
Dark side froze.
He froze. Yeah, nah, it was crazy because like this guy would absolutely shit on everybody with jokes and everything else.
Mhm.
And the one time we say anything, we made, not like I said, it was a light
Hold
joke.
on, not
It was
we.
some-
Not we.
Fine.
Well, you
us,
joined
who
in.
cares?
No,
But
no.
still.
Yeah, it was literally the lightest joke in the world.
Yeah.
And he just flipped out. And you know, I had never thought that would be possible for like people to be so deep into like their political like ideologies that like you even make a joke of something. Oh my goodness. But I really wish I could kind of be a fly on the wall at his condo now. And like I just see nothing but red, white, and blue everywhere. He has nothing but Trump memorabilia everywhere. He changed.
I thought you were talking
dyed
about
his
the
hair.
Pepsi cans.
Oh, the Pepsi cans, Trump Pepsi cans. And he
They're
has-
all blue and red and white.
he dyed his hair orange or blonde, and because he was going a little bald, but he could have had Nancy come over. I mean, oh,
Man,
God.
we had a lot of good times in that condo.
Oh, yeah, a lot of good stories from that place.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some of it we can't say, but
No, yeah.
good times.
Oh,
Good
really?
times. Well, and like you said, he was ground zero for
You brought up-
literally prostitution ring in that local area.
Wow.
Like everybody knew who he was, and he was like kind of the one-stop shop. But he didn't do anything with them. He was Captain
Oh
Save
my
That we know of.
God.
that we know of.
I just, what is it called? Those like traumatic memories when like you forget them
Yeah,
Yeah.
and something triggers them.
no.
Remember? Okay, I'll tell the
Yeah.
story.
Go
But
ahead.
I was thinking if I should say the story because it's kind of sad. But remember, we there was one point we had to pick up the
The first one?
sex worker from someone's house, right?
Uh-huh.
And then
Whose house?
who was with me? Were you with me? In?
Was it from Who Shall Not Be Named's house?
No, we
From our
were with
customers.
who shall not be named. We're hanging out with them,
Oh,
and then
wait,
we had
was
to
it?
pick up, and then we had to pick up the working girl from someone's house. Who knows whose house it was?
Mhm.
And then we went to a fucking Denny's, I think. And I remember when we were there, like she was going nuts, right? Like she started like laughing and crying and doing all the crazy shit. I just wanted the ground to like open up and just swallow me whole. Like I
What?
just wanted to like disappear from
I
her.
remember this. I remember
Oh yeah,
this.
Darkseid was there.
Yeah.
Was she wearing a
fucking
wig that day?
Strange and weird.
She
I
did
think
start
she was
wearing
wearing-
wigs.
yeah,
she
she
did
was wearing,
start
like,
wearing
a-
wigs.
yeah.
Yeah, poor kid.
Yeah, she was going through some things. Like I said,
She
I
was
remember.
attractive, though.
I met her for like I think
She was
maybe
a
few times.
beautiful soul. Just unfortunately,
Yeah.
life's unfair, man.
Life is
Yeah.
unfair. Absolutely. No, but I mean, he who shall not be named. I hope he's living a great life right now. I hope
Me
he's
too.
out there fighting the good fight, make America great again, and
Wow.
Saving more broken souls.
saving more broken souls. Like,
He
yeah.
unfollowed me on Twitch. Thanks to you all. Thank you.
Yeah.
When?
Yeah,
Did he?
when the day that happened.
Oh,
Instant.
Oh yeah.
Like you're talking about
Dude, that's
in
everyone. He cut off
2016?
yeah, 2016.
everyone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
he
he-
Dude, he
unfollowed all,
cut
he
off
cut all
everyone.
ties. Yeah.
Yeah,
I did nothing wrong.
I contacted him and I'd literally text him like, "Hey man, like you good?" I
Dude,
got left on
same
red.
here. Even sometimes for Christmas, I'm like, hey,
Same.
Merry
I reach out
Christmas or
every like
something,
holiday
just
or something.
whatever.
Yeah.
He's gonna come
Yeah,
back
and-
one day. One day we're gonna sit at our usual Greek restaurant. We're gonna
Yep.
sit there and we're gonna
Yep.
be eating, and then all of a sudden, it's like in the movies, like everybody's like they just look at each other and they look back, and then
Yeah.
he's just sitting in the doorway like, "Boys, I'm home," and then we're gonna embrace him, love on him,
What?
and it's gonna be like no time has passed.
The
So
stupid song,
I look forward to that day.
When I See You,
You
Again. That's
Again.
stupid.
He still has that. He still has that Genesis, baby.
And then we go back to his condo and rent we'll rent a movie from Family Video, and then we go back to his condo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, those were the days.
And then
Funny
Those are the
thing,
days.
funny
And with
thing.
his little backpack with his Xbox
Yeah.
360 in there.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
We'll spend we'll spin up Street Fighter 4 all over again.
And you all lose again
And-
too.
and
And
we'll
he'd
get
lose,
whooped.
he'd lose for hours and then win one and run out the door.
And then just book it as soon as he
yeah,
wins.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Undefeated,
rematch.
baby.
It'll literally be 6
Undefeated.
o'clock in the morning. We would have been there from like 8 o'clock at night until 6 o'clock in the morning. And it's like, I gotta go, guys. I have to leave right now. Like,
Undefeated, baby.
hey, Ed, you are still undefeated, man. It's to this day.
Heck yeah.
All
right.
All right.
Funny thing, I was when the pandemic hit, I started doing Uber,
Mhm.
and I actually passed by his house, and his car was there.
I've driven through his condo because it's a
Not house.
shortcut. It's a shortcut. to get to
Shortcut?
Yeah, from I'm not gonna name the streets.
It's not
but
a
there's street-
shortcut.
Look, you can get to
It's
the
like a
theater
maze.
area quicker
there's-
taking
No,
that
there's a
little,
if you know where you're
street.
going, there's a shortcut if
Yeah.
you go through his place.
There's
And
little shortcuts around
I
there.
use that often. Like not often, I'd say every other month I've used it. And I always look for his car. And it's been there.
Damn. Wait, he still
And
has the
I
same
was-
Genesis?
Same Genesis.
Damn, that's crazy. It's wild because this is like, I mean, like I said, once again, I never thought a political party would actually come and like break up a friend group like that.
I know it's such
I
a
know.
personal.
It
I hold
shocked
Trump responsible.
everyone.
I really do.
Yeah.
I write letters to Trump every year on the anniversary of our breakup, and I tell him
I
how
believe it
he's
happened
wrong.
on January 5th. It happened.
Wow.
Oh man, that's
Greatest precedent ever.
crazy. Yeah, right. Literally breaking
No
up.
president has affected me personally more than one.
Much more than Trump. Yeah,
Yeah.
not only did he like mess up a lot of things, he also split our white
Friend-
friend,
our friend
away
group.
from
Yeah, he
us.
literally broke up our friend group.
He
Yeah.
snatched our white friend.
He literally he took out, like, back in the day we could say I have that one white friend, and
Yeah.
now we don't have that anymore in our friend group because all
Yeah.
because of Trump. So
Trump took it away.
yeah, Trump literally took it away. He made America great again, but he did not make our friendship greater again. So I'm really
That's
sad about that.
hilarious.
But it is what it is. Like I said, I hope he who shall not be named is doing well in his
I
Trump
hope so,
cave.
too.
And I thought that once Trump was done being president, that he would come back to
I thought
us.
so too. I thought
I
but
thought
the
he was gonna
rift is
come back
too
and be
deep.
like, guys, I was going through a phase. It was
Yeah.
awkward. I'm back,
The
boys.
Cheeto dust clear the air, and now I can see.
Yeah,
The
he's-
Pepsi has dried up.
Pepsi has dried up, guys. I had to leave my house.
The lakes of Pepsi have dried up.
Yeah.
Mm.
Talking about this friend, this guy would drink Pepsi like none other. I have never met a person ever in life who literally
I'm surprised
he didn't drink
get
water.
glaucoma or diabetes. It was
Diabetes.
like drinking
Yeah.
water.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
water for
it's
him.
water,
It was water.
yeah.
Madam
It
Web
was
should have
water.
hired him for the Pepsi
Placement.
ad.
Yeah, Pepsi. Yeah. Just have him
Yeah.
standing there. Yeah, this guy drank so much Pepsi. I remember he had literal piles of Pepsi cans at one point at his house. Yeah, this guy loved him some Pepsi. I know his dick was burning from just the pure acid,
Wow.
from the pure carbonation just coming out of his penis. So craziness. All right, so moving on from him.
Yeah, from the Pepsi, not from the prostitute.
Yeah, not from the prostitutes, just the Pepsi.
Just to clarify.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't the prostitutes. The prostitutes, they were professionals. So
They were
Yeah,
professionals.
they were
Yes.
they were
professionals.
professionals.
So new Matrix movie came out. Our new Matrix movie has been announced. 9 April Fools. The director for Daredevil, Trent something, I forgot his name, but he is going to be leading up the new Matrix movie. So that is very exciting for Matrix fans, especially after the horrific fourth movie. One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. So that's kind of a cool thing. Kind of surprised, I'm getting to a point with like movies when they're remaking movies, like kind of like or continuing movies on, kind of like how they did with Ghostbusters. We talked about that. I feel like Matrix is one not old enough to continue. I feel like not a remake. I know the Matrix movies are not remakes, but I feel like they should just. The movie was perfect as is. I don't know why they continue on with the story. I get it; it's for a new audience, but I mean, just
Money.
let resting dogs lie.
But
Money.
the last movie was it was bad on purpose, right? Wasn't that the whole deal?
Yes, yeah.
Because the
it was.
Wachowskis didn't want to do it at all. They were really forced to do it. They told them, if you don't do the next movie, we're gonna find somebody.
We're
to
gonna
do
do it
And the
without you.
Do it
Wachowskis
without
like,
you, yeah.
yeah.
And only
The
one of the
Wachowskis like,
Wachowskis.
fine.
And only one of the sisters did it.
On one.
I think it's
Oh, okay.
Lily.
So only
Yeah.
one of the Wachowskis. Even then, only one came back.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's just the studio. They just want to keep cranking them out. I have no idea where you can go with the Matrix unless they do it like the Future Wars, but that's over, right?
Technically, it should be
Only
over.
one man can answer that question on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah,
the true,
Me?
yes,
I know.
the true
Dreamcast.
one.
You could do so many things with the Matrix, but they chose to go this very weird route.
They called me. They said me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not Ed.
Oh,
why are you talking?
you're the Morpheus.
I'm the
Neo here.
one. You're Mouse.
You're
I'm
Trinity.
Morpheus.
You're not Mouse.
No,
you're
you're
the
Trinity.
kid. You're the
I'm
kid
Morpheus.
who's not allowed to go in the Matrix. You're the kid.
He's the one that Neo saved, and all he could do is kick a ammo crate into one of the machines, and
You
that's
walk an
about
only
it.
dream. When I think about the kid, he's the only one that freed himself.
There you go, Ed.
Oh
Good
no,
for you.
that's Neo. He thinks Neo saved him, and
He
Neo
thinks.
said, "He said Neo's
You
like,
saved
you saved
yourself.
yourself.
You saved yourself, kid.
You save yourself, kid."
Whoa.
Well, I even sound like Keanu Reeves. Like, whoa, yeah, I'm the one.
Not
it's
really.
confirmed.
He's the one.
It's
Not
confirmed.
He's the one.
I mean, they could have even gone that route, but instead they went this route.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
weird route that they went. And even I forgot. Even in the fourth movie, wasn't that like a massive like a 30-year or 40-year time jump in that? So like it seems like the machines didn't even like really keep to their word of having peace. I guess they did. Technically they did, but yeah, it was just a shitty premise. It just sucked. So I'm like, I don't know what they can really do now. I mean, now Neo and Trinity are in the Matrix. They can rebuild the Matrix as they see
Yeah, they're
fit.
the one. Isn't Trinity now like
The
the
ones.
one?
They're ones.
She's
Not
the
the
ones?
well, they are the one as opposed to
Well, then, how are they both the ones if they're one signifies only one?
Because it's
they
Loophole.
2024 and they're both the one.
so
equally.
how they
But
kind
they
of
can't be one
how they
mathematically.
explain it.
It's
They both are part of the code. So Neo, well, some people they didn't say it explicitly, but either one or two things happen. That Neo was only the one because Trinity was near him, and so since they are both part of the source code, both had the source code within them. When they're together, they become the one. Or the other thing
Call it
is
the dyad or whatever. Didn't they say dyad a lot?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Or Neo gave her
yeah,
part
when he took
his
out
source code.
Yeah, he gave her the source code.
Yeah,
Hey,
gave her
you know what I'm
source code,
talking
you know what
about?
I'm
That code.
He's like, I'm a USB. Let me plug it in. So when he saved Trinity when she was shot by the agent at the electrical plant, and he took the bullet out of her, it said that he imparted some of his code inside of her, and therefore she was now part of the one as well. Which I guess that makes sense because Neo never did that. He never like force himself. That sounds weird. Never put him. He never stuck his body into someone else.
He never sexually assaulted.
If the scene was he stuck his hand through
Ed,
Trinity's
please, Ed.
heart and made her come back to life
But he
by
did not have consent. He did not have
He
consent.
didn't
to
have
do
consent
Well-
to penetrate her. That's sure.
Well, the thing is,
Oh
it's like
my
the only other
goodness.
person that he's done that to was Agent Smith. So that makes sense
that.
that
Also,
Agent
no
Smith.
consent. Also, no consent.
No
Neo needs
consent,
to be
yeah.
stopped. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, he's the worst.
He's a menace.
He literally went inside him all the way. And that this face that Agent Smith made wasn't a face of consent. Just want to say that consent is very important, boys and girls.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Bandito Max said, it's the unity of two of them. Yeah, it was they unified somehow, and now they're both the one. But I think how they really wanted to explain it was Trinity is the one in this new Matrix, blah blah blah. So she's the one in this new Matrix, which technically is a separate Matrix. So in the new Matrix, that's where Trinity is the one, which is weird because the one is supposed to like be generations later, but neither here nor there. It is
Yeah,
what
like
it is.
isn't there like a gap between each savior or something?
Yeah, it's supposed to be every
Yeah.
every
Well, there's
generation.
like 7 matrices now.
Yeah, so it's like there's supposed to be a separate person, not someone that usually is not someone that's already born at that point. But I mean, it is what it is. So I don't know where they're gonna go on with the story. I think it would be kind of cool if they maybe went back into the past and showed like earlier versions of the Matrix, especially the first one. Maybe the first showing how the robots rebelled and everything else, and then the emergence of the first Matrix and the first one. That would be kind of cool. But you know,
And
we'll
see
see what
them
they do.
fall too, because they didn't win; they actually lost. To actually see a hero lose in a movie, it'd be like Endgame a little bit.
What are you talking
Just
about? Like
let
if they did the first Matrices?
Yeah, if they did any Matrix before the 6th one, because they all failed
Yeah.
except for Neo.
Yeah.
So be kind of cool to actually see the progression of they're doing all these things, yet they failed.
Well, technically they didn't fail. I mean, they just actually, I mean, they all just chose to save the Matrix as opposed to saving
humanity.
going back into the real world or going back into the Matrix.
Well, Neo was the only one that had fell in love.
Yeah, he fell in love. The rest of them
The other ones didn't fall in love.
Yeah, they joined back into the source code, and then the robots would just massacre up to a certain amount of people. So technically, they didn't fail. Just Neo made the one selfish choice. So yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see that. I wouldn't mind seeing that. There's no details right now about the story, so I mean, yeah, it's obviously a cash grab at this point, especially after the last one. I just don't see many. I don't remember many movie franchises that go from good to shit and then can somehow rebound. But
Star Wars both didn't rebound
Fast
yet.
and Furious. Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious is as
yeah, that's
goofy as
true.
it is, it's doing
and
pretty
Furious.
good.
no, that's true. Alien
Rebounded at 5.
Aliens rebounded in my book too.
That's
we'll see
highly debatable.
We'll see how Romulus.
I'm with you, but highly debatable.
If Romulus is as good as it looks, then it can definitely be a huge rebound for Alien series. But yeah, we know what we really need. Well, I was gonna say Predator. Predator is kind of a rebound story, I guess, because Prey was actually pretty good.
It was really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Prey. And man, they need to just make some good Predator movies.
Predator, it's cool
Prey
as long as they
2's
keep
coming
doing that.
out. There's a Prey
different
2?
timelines.
Yeah, Prey 2's
Prey 2
in production, I think.
Like, wasn't one of the movies supposed to be like in the Old West or start in the Old West and eventually get scrapped? I think it was like AVP or one of those. They were thinking about having aliens in the Old West at the beginning to show you how long they've been around. That'd be cool, like having a Western with aliens in it, because it's so strange and new. It would be very interesting, but I doubt they'll ever do that.
I would love to see feudal Japan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you can pit them against different warriors of different places, Vikings, you name it.
I was gonna
it's
say
gonna be the next Assassin's Creed.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
I was gonna say Aztec Empire would be cool because you could do a lot with their like.
They did that though.
Well, they did an AVP, I think. Right?
Yeah, AVP.
They talked about. So I'd like to see a Prey movie set in the Aztec time.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a little bit of retconning, because in the AVP they made it seem like they were
AVP is not
harmonious.
canon.
It's not. Yeah,
not
it's not
canon.
canon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
saying. They just made it seem very harmonious between the two. And plus with the aliens as well. Yeah, you can't really do that with a true
Mm.
Prey movie. Yeah, that would be. Now, I didn't know they were making Prey 2, but that's really good to hear because yeah, my boy Predator, he's kind of struggling. Like he comes out with one good movie and then he has another shit one, then a decent movie, and so forth. So hopefully Matrix can kind of get on that bandwagon and get to something good for sure. All right. So was there any news articles or news things that came up this past week?
Not really.
Oh, Ed, you got something?
I was thinking, but I don't think there's anything this week that came out.
Well, one thing I want to bring up, guys, and I'm sick. I want to put this on the podcast so that there's official record that we talked about this. Is Invincible 2, right? Invincible season 2 is out. Man, this season, I don't think this Invincible is getting a lot of love that it deserves because this past season or this current season right now, I don't know if there's more episodes in season 2. So far, I think there's 6 or 7 episodes. Really fucking good. So yeah, for comic book fans, if you like the comic book, definitely watch Invincible. They're introducing characters where has some deeper implications and really deep instances that happened, and I really kind of want to see how Amazon is going to go about that because it's definitely not it's very kind of a taboo topic to go about. I'm not going to spoil anything, but some characters are being introduced that do some very horrendous things, and I kind of want to see how Amazon is going to portray it in actual animation form. So yeah, really been hyped about that. And then yeah, I've been watching like animes and so forth, like Solo Leveling, week by week. That's a really good anime. If you guys ever want to check that out, it's still ongoing. I know Bandito Mac is checking it out right now. No, I think he's on season, it's still on episode 1. He's trying to wait till it ends, but it's still ongoing. Pretty cool. What's it called? Manhwa. I forgot how you pronounce
Manhwa?
it.
Yeah.
Manhwa. I think it's Manhwa. Yeah, really cool. So check that out.
That.
Yeah, Chinese, pretty much Chinese anime.
Korean.
I'm sorry, Korean anime. Really cool. So that's pretty awesome. And then Ninja Kamui. I've been watching that. That's pretty awesome. Hope you guys have been checking that out. Really, I thought it was an American anime, but apparently is actually like legit from Japan, which was surprising to me because it's being shot weekly or is being put out weekly on Max. So that's kind of surprising. Didn't know that Max was getting into the animes. So really cool stuff. So yeah, there's some recent news about that, and yeah, that's about it for myself. So I guess we're gonna get into the main topics. All right,
let's do it.
Let's get into it. All right. So this past week, one of the, I know for us, we care about kaiju movies, the MonsterVerse type of movies with Legendary, Godzilla X Kong, and the new Empire came out this past weekend. I believe we all saw it, correct? Did you see it, Ed?
I did not.
Oh, how are you going to be late?
We told you last week.
We told you this, Ed.
I didn't have the free time to see it.
You said
Hold
yourself.
Up. So when you guys don't see
something,
then you guys,
didn't I also offer?
But then when I have to see it, the world goes crazy.
The world's not going crazy. This is not going crazy, little bitch.
But I also
you guys go crazy.
Take you. I also offered to take
you. Did say
and I was planning to see it on Wednesday, which is today, but then a lot of things came up, and yeah, so I couldn't see it.
You were sitting here telling us like, I'm going to see it one way or the other. I know things and I know places to see it. You weren't going into details, but we trusted you. You sounded super confident, and I'm like, I watched Godzilla and Kong, and I was like, you know what? I know everybody watched it.
7 days. Surely he would be able to see it.
I made the time to see it on Wednesday, and things came up where I couldn't see it, couldn't have the free time to see it on Wednesday today. So,
I sat in that theater and I watched it, and I started smiling to myself. I was like, you know what? I know all the boys watched it. And I know Ed would never let me down. He's probably watched it. He's written up a review on it. He's probably posted about it and talked about it with a whole bunch of people. And lo and behold, you've let me down, Ed.
So let me get this straight. You don't see a movie or a series and
Go ahead
no,
and
it's just
mute that mic there.
nothing,
Go ahead and
Oh,
mute
man.
that
Mike,
mic.
can you
But
mute
then
him?
Oh, okay.
when I don't see it, oh, you go crazy.
Let's let him get it out. Let's let him get it out.
Mm.
Okay,
But am
so
I wrong?
you are
Yeah,
wrong.
you had 7 days to
Yeah.
to watch it. So yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and 9 times out of
things
10
came
when
up
I don't
where
watch a
I
So
movie,
you,
couldn't see
you
it.
schedule it on the 7th day and expect something, something bad happens. What do you expect?
Well, things happened where I couldn't see it. Very important things. So
that's
I had to
okay.
take care of
All right, all right, all right.
responsibilities.
He had to take care of responsibility. Guys, get off his ass. Like, damn. Like, he had to
I'll
take a
never
very
get off his ass.
yeah. I mean, we're gonna make him pay for it later, but don't worry about
Never
that.
on in the first place, but you can try. But it ain't happening, baby.
No, I'm not on. I'm in. There's a difference.
Oh, you're
I'm
nowhere
in. I'm
around
in
it.
that ass.
Nowhere around it. You
all
wish
right.
you were.
So Godzilla and Kong, New Empire. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, great movie, loved it. Saw it Tuesday, for $7. My local theater has increased the price, which I'm kind of upset about. This is the IMAX theater that is close by us. It went from $5 to $7, and now these bitches have the audacity to charge us a $7 fee for processing tickets online. I'm like, these motherfuckers. Like,
$7 fee?
$7
top?
fee.
yeah, on
On
top.
top?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
top. That's
I've
the
never
fee.
heard of that.
That's for buying a ticket online. I'm like, that's some
What
hoe
app
ass-
are you using?
What scam site did you
That
go
is
on?
insane.
I'm going to their official website. That's the
Oh,
crazy thing.
fuck that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to go on their
Fandango,
app.
you could do it without it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go on their app or something like that, or go
Like
on
Fandango's
You
like
talked to a
$2.
guy
Whoa,
who said
And even
hold
then,
on,
I
hold
think
on.
that's too
lives in
much.
Texas named Alex.
You said
Is
what?
this
Ed?
AMC or Cinemark? What is this?
Is none of them.
None of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ed, what'd you say?
Well, like I said, what scam site did you go on?
I literally went
I've
on their
never
website.
paid anything above what a dollar online.
I didn't know about this fee until afterwards. Now, I'm not gonna lie.
You got scammed pretty good.
I'm extremely wealthy. Okay, so what happens is that I buy things and I don't even look at the price.
He doesn't care.
I don't really care.
Mhm.
So
he's in a tax
It's chump
bracket.
change to him.
Yeah.
Chump change.
yeah. So
Now,
Bandito Max.
I'm
hold
reading
on.
the-
Bandito Mac has a hack here. He has
Yes.
a hack on how to save money. It says just wait at the exit and dip in next time. Yeah, that's OG hack.
Oh, well, why don't you read this?
Could you read the
I'm
comment right
reading the
after?
bottom part that he says.
Nah, I choose not to read that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip that
I call
comment.
it.
Ed, if you want to read it, hey, this is the Ed
Nah,
Underground.
don't read. I'm fucking
Hey,
around.
it's in the cat for
That's
those
hilarious.
for those listening on all our major podcasting platforms. If you do want to actually see what I don't know if you want me to say his name actually wrote, then watch us live here on.
And we're the mods right now. Mods, get in there, man. Mods. What the fuck?
Yeah,
We have a mod.
Yep, I'm the mod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No,
not
so
a mod.
but yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, mod.
Yeah.
Ban
He
yourself.
Yeah, ban yourself, Bandito.
Time yourself out, please.
Like, Bandito, you say some crazy shit. Like, whoa, I stepped over the line right there. I'm gonna time myself out. So, it's crazy. So I was looking at the ticket and I was like, what the fuck? And I had 4 people that went to go see this movie, and I'm like, okay, 4, 7, $28, with tax like 30 something. And I saw this extra tax for like $7. I was like, holy shit. Now it doesn't make sense like if you go by yourself, because at that point you're paying for a whole ass movie at that point.
Yeah.
And you might as well just wait till you get there to get your seat anyways, because you're gonna get you can just sit anywhere at that point. But I was like, damn, that really sucks. But it only makes sense when you have a group and you need to sit together. I can it's like a tax. And I was like, well, it's whatever. But I went to go see it.
I might buy a ticket at the gate. Just it's so much easier.
Yeah.
Well, if it's reserved, though, I mean,
it is reserved, but like, I mean, I've never had an issue recently.
Yeah, if you're not going
Oh,
on
there hasn't
like
been any good
I,
movies
I,
too.
I guess.
Friday or
Well,
Saturday.
hold on. Yeah, you said it right now. It's
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday night, unless you're doing that. But I usually go matinees, and
Yeah, matinees, you'll never have a problem with
you
that.
never have an issue.
So yeah, that's why I was like, damn, this sucks. But yeah, I went to go see it on Tuesday. This is a movie I would have seen for full price. I enjoyed it
Now, did you see
100%.
it IMAX real quick?
Yeah, I saw it IMAX.
Nice.
Yes. Absolutely enjoyed it. This was a
Mhm.
movie that I felt as this is one of those movies that I hate. I really don't think a lot of movies go from good to bad and then come back to be good again. This is Godzilla's kind of the opposite. Godzilla's been it was good to mid to good, and then this is great. I think this was a great movie. I think they finally got it right. I think they got all the elements right. One of the biggest complaints I've always had about Godzilla movies was that the human element of the movies always sucked ass. They're
Yes.
always trash. I hated it, and I'm just like, I just can't wait for this to be over. Show me the giant fucking monsters. I want to see some kaijus. This one, I felt like, damn, this I actually cared enough about the human element and the human people that was everything that they were doing. I actually cared about a lot more than in previous movies, where it wasn't some arbitrary like my daughter. I'm a scientist, and my daughter from across the country really misses me, but somehow she went and touched Godzilla in the foot, and now I gotta protect her because Monarch wants to kill. Like,
I mean, there's
weird
a little
shit.
bit of that. There's a little bit of that.
A little bit
Oh,
of that,
I'm not gonna
but
lie.
it wasn't.
That's still there.
Yeah, it wasn't too heavy, where it was just like it was a snooze fest. Like I said, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great, and we can get more into it. But yeah, that's my initial take on it. What did you guys, for the people that did see it, what do you guys think?
Well, I liked it. I liked it, and then I really liked it at a certain point. When there's a point in the movie where Kong uses a little baby Kong as a nunchuck to fight other Kongs.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That moment, I think I stood up and applauded in that scene.
Wow.
And I was like, this is a great movie. Yeah, no, I really liked it. There was a lot of good fights. It is what it is. It's it's exactly what you want out of the legendary MonsterVerse series. It's not it's not -1. -1's at another level. This is this is the Fast and Furious of Godzilla movies. And that's what you got. You walk in the door, that's what you wanted, that's what you got at the end of the day. It was, I say it occasionally, and this is the movie that is big and dumb and full of cum. This is it. This is that movie.
Wow.
I definitely would have
big, dumb, and full of Kong.
Yeah. Kong. Yeah. Oh, you said something else.
That too.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah. No, I liked it. I liked the bad guys. I liked the fights. I like Godzilla.
You
though
guys
he
like
wasn't in
that
it that
big,
much.
weird red monkey?
You talking about the Scar King?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Scar
love
King.
it. Yeah,
Is
I
the
love
Scar King the guy with the whip?
Yeah, the whip. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I loved him, but I liked him. I liked him.
Yeah, I thought he was a good contrast to Kong, especially with like
Fighting wise, it was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and he was a huge contrast. Like Kong, I'm not gonna lie, I thought Kong was gonna beat his ass at first. 'Cause I'm like, Kong is this jacked ass, like pretty much silverback gorilla, and then you have this I don't know orangutan type character.
Yeah.
I don't know if
He's
this
wiry.
orangutan. Huh?
He's wiry, but he's full of energy.
He looks more like a
crack.
chimp.
He's high on crack.
Chimp, yeah.
He looks like a chimp basically, because chimps get scary big, and they look similar to that, where they're like very like bald on top of their head and shit.
Yeah,
they
look fucking creepy, man.
Hey, what'd you ask?
Is he related to Kong?
No.
It's just a giant civilization of apes that no one ever noticed.
Yeah.
You know how it happens.
Yeah, so obviously spoilers for those that haven't watched it. I agree. Like Scar King wasn't the greatest. I'm based on how they kind of hyped him up. I thought he was gonna be like this master planner. Like he's been trying to get to the surface for thousands of years, and then he finally gets there.
Fucking blind luck is what it was.
Yeah.
He just happened to be at the right point at the right time with the right creature.
Literally, that's what it was. And I was thinking like he's master planning this and like sitting back, because they like even in the trailer they made him always like sit back and be thinking, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this motherfucker cooking. And reality, he
That
has
would
no
have been
thoughts.
refreshing.
Yeah, he had no thoughts in his head. He's just like, banana, whip,
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla. Like in his mind, I'm thinking in his mind, he's probably like, I can't wait to fuck up that lizard next time I see him. And he's been thinking about that for thousands of years. So I'm just like, damn, like this is how you kind of hype this guy up and you kind of let him down a little bit. But the fight scenes were interesting for sure. That I mean, for real, he was jacking up Kong on 1v1s. Yeah, he was beating Kong's ass.
yeah.
That first one. Yeah, he beat the shit out of Kong.
With the aid of the whip and the crystal.
True.
Now, can we talk about something real quick here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, what is that But what's that vertebrae made from that Kong can just rip it in half with his bare hands?
I don't know. Good question.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, is that
because I've seen him like tear animals in half with his bare hands. Remember at the beginning?
Yeah, he ripped those.
There's a lot of
split
questionable.
The spine in two of that animal when he showered its green blood
all over.
Somehow he couldn't do that with an old dusty ass spine.
Yeah,
there's a lot of questionable vertebrae in the movie because there's at one point there's a bridge and I'm like, there's no way that bridge is holding it together.
Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So there's some going on with the vertebrae out there, but you guys are OG kaiju fans. I hate when I started seeing images of this, even in the last movie, I felt a certain way about kaiju using weapons. But now
I feel weird about it.
At this point, you got whips. Kong has a gauntlet, which I felt a certain way about in the trailer. In practicality, I love that thing. I thought it was cool.
But you talking about
I thought the glove was
the gauntlet.
Yeah, I thought it was cool from the ads. I
thought it was dumb at the ads because I was like,
and I
why are they giving him
how
this?
they fit it into the story, and it's like, okay, that makes sense.
It made sense.
It did make sense. It made a lot of sense. It wasn't. It didn't feel out of place. It was a little. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of stupid how they introduced it, though. It was like, okay,
it was very convenient how they introduced it.
They're like, oh, we got this prototype weapon, and it got decommissioned at the last minute, but we have it.
Where'd you put it? It's 5 minutes that way.
5 minutes. Let me just hop in and somehow let me go through the forest that we took hours to get through.
Yes.
Let me just go the next scene
alone.
Let me go through the forest that eats people and shit. Let me just go and somehow magically go to the ship, get his big ass gauntlet, somehow fly to that location that's supposed to be underground and hidden and shit.
Yeah, right?
It's supposed to be hidden. How the hell did he get through that secret?
How did he fly the ship through the thing?
I think there's a certain point you had to turn off your mind.
Yeah,
and that was around that point.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm done. Trying to think.
Well, especially when how is it, the Hollow Earth theory or whatever, right? And then you see these wide, vast expanses of no pillars. How the fuck is that not caving into the world since we're the outside world? Or it's like a different dimension.
Yeah,
gravity, bitch.
It's just like
questions.
Yeah,
gravity, bitch.
No, yeah, my bad.
Steiner math.
I didn't remember science.
Steiner math.
Yeah, I mean
Steiner science.
But yeah,
speaking of Steiner. How'd you guys like that suplex that Godzilla pulled off?
Oh, yo, Godzilla, he suplexes shit out of him. I was like,
wait, Godzilla.
The fights were good.
With his
fights were good.
T-Rex hand.
Yeah, he grabbed him by his neck, lifted him up in the air, and smashed them into the ground like wrestling style.
Yeah.
Okay.
How though?
Ed.
That has roots though. Actually, as goofy as it is, that actually has roots.
Yes.
Because in like the 90s Godzilla, when it was kid friendly, Godzilla would like do shadow boxing.
Absolutely.
He would
kicks and all these
suplex people.
Stupid things.
What I was gonna say is this movie. One of the things I loved about this movie, love about this movie, is the fact that Godzilla does not give a fuck about the world around him. He is tearing through shit. He is sleeping in the Coliseum. He is taking a shit on the road in like Paris.
He's like a cat.
But here's the thing.
He is kind
there
of
are
like a cat,
moments where he could walk around shit. I could see him walk around it. He does not give a fuck. He's going through bridges. And I'm like, this guy does not give a shit.
As it should be.
As it should be. And here's the thing. There was a certain, and this movie, what I think I like about it a lot is they're tearing every major city up in this.
Yeah.
Like no one is spared. At the end of the day, when they got to like, what was it? Brazil. I was like, rest in peace, Brazil. There's a 3-way fight coming, and you're all one of these motherfuckers have ice powers. You're all fucked. Every
Yeah.
one of it's over. Don't even bother rebuilding. You're dead. No matter how far you could get away from this, like there's no hope on this one. But Ed, wrestling is the best example that I could think of. The end fight is a 4-way cage fight.
Really is.
Yeah, in Brazil with
Yeah.
these monsters.
It's absolutely. And the thing is,
There's a cage.
No,
No.
but it has that wrestling feel.
it has,
It has
wrestling,
that
yeah.
feel
Oh,
because
okay.
it's everybody against everybody.
Yeah, I mean, even the fight in Egypt, right? When
Yes.
I mean, I loved it when you see. I guess he's going into the Strait of Gibraltar.
Yeah, he jumps in there.
Yeah, he just jumps it like Godzilla just sitting on top of the cliff. And first I thought he
Kills
was just
1,000 people. Kills 1,000
1,000
people.
people, yeah.
Man, the collateral damage. I was just watching and ticking it off. Like this is the good guy.
yeah,
Man,
this is supposed to be the good guy. Like Godzilla
Godzilla is the best. Godzilla is always when he's accidentally
killing
a good
everybody.
guy.
Yeah,
Because the thing is, to Godzilla, technically we're nothing. He's
Yeah.
stepping over ants. He doesn't
Yeah.
care.
not
yeah.
even
But
not even ants. He literally doesn't care about us. So
But
Yeah,
I
like
love- I love
the
the
thing is,
turn.
humans don't register to Godzilla. Godzilla's they've portrayed Godzilla as being very smart
yeah,
because it's a smart living creature, but we do not register to him.
Yes,
That's how
yes.
little importance we have
think
as
they
humans
made
to
that-
Godzilla.
I think
It's
they
a
made
cat.
that very
Very clear,
clear in this
yeah.
movie that Kong, has a
Is a
connection to humanity,
yes.
and Godzilla does not give a fuck. And I love that about Godzilla. I love that they made that distinction.
Well, yeah, I think
Yeah.
that backstory honestly was really good because I was talking to the individuals that I went with, and I was like, Godzilla has always been a force of just a force of nature. In the Japanese version, he is obviously a lot of parallels to World War II, nuclear holocaust, that type of stuff. And Kong has always been the kaiju's always been close to humans, or the monster's always been close to humans. So the fact that they really spelled that out, like the apes have always been protectors of humanity, and they've always had a symbiotic relationship between humans, while Godzilla is just kind of like, I'm fighting who's the next person to fight kind of thing. I really, really enjoyed that. And one thing I'm really glad they didn't do was, I was suspecting them to be like, Godzilla is actually from a tribe of other Godzillas, and they kind of did that in the previous movie. But they didn't. They always just made Godzilla like, Godzilla's always been this legendary titan. We don't know really. Yeah, Darkseid, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say he's always been around.
Yeah, he's just been around. He's just a
Yeah.
legendary titan, while the apes
Keep it that way, please.
are kind of like society. Yeah, no, I want to keep it like that. They kind of alluded to that there were other versions of Godzilla in ancient times, in the original Godzilla and Kong interaction. But yeah, I liked how they just like, really, the apes have a whole society. They're very social creatures. There are many of them, and they are always been like the barrier in between us and Godzilla. But yeah, no, the fight scenes in this were amazing. And I was kind of, at first, I didn't realize this. And I don't know if you guys realize this. There wasn't a whole lot of Godzilla in this movie. In relation to Kong.
It's a Kong focused movie.
Yeah, heavily Kong.
It's a Kong focus.
Well, I think there's a reason for that too.
Sure.
I think isn't the license with Toho expiring very soon? That the MonsterVerse has, the Legendary. I'm gonna have to look that up, but I think they had it. I think they had a number of films that they have Godzilla for licensed out for, and I think that license is drawing to an end. But they have Kong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Kong is
which
ours,
is fine because you can use Kong
fine
with other guys.
Yeah,
Yes,
Kong,
which would be
Kong is
cool as
great.
hell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're trying to push out Kong as Godzilla fades out, basically.
Well, Kong has always been an American type of kaiju, right? When
he is the American kaiju.
He's
American. Well, he preceded
he was never
Godzilla.
a kaiju, but
he was never a kaiju.
He is
but
now.
he was like Kong is the original giant monster.
Yeah.
In film.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why they made Godzilla, because Kong, everyone liked Kong, and they're like, let's make our version of Kong, and they made Godzilla.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like it would be cool seeing Kong with what's the other big Japanese creature that's like the kid-friendly version of Godzilla? The turtle.
Oh,
Oh, that
Gamera?
kid looking thing?
Gamera, thank
yeah,
you.
Gamera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Are you're not a fan of Gamera?
I think he gets too goofy. Gamera gets a little too goofy for me.
He's like
Godzilla
that,
got super
what's
goofy
that
too.
Scooby-Doo dog, the small one?
Scrappy.
Scrappy?
He's like Scrappy-Doo.
No, I think Scrappy would be
I don't
more
know
of
about that.
Son of Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's like that because Son of Godzilla always gets into random trouble with
Well,
any random kaiju and so forth. But I mean,
Mm.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, since you brought that up, what did you guys think of Baby Kong? He was basically
Adorable.
filling in the. Was he adorable?
He was
You hate him
adorable.
in the
I
beginning.
thought it was
I hate him in the beginning.
I hate him in the beginning,
when
but
he
I
made
did
him-
like him in the end.
Yeah, when he made him into a nunchuck.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I'm not gonna lie. Like in the movie theater, like this is like the power of Godzilla. I don't know how much money they've done, and I'll look it
Yeah.
up in a little bit. But the theater was actually was pretty packed for a Tuesday.
Yeah, mine too.
And when that happened, people were actually like cheering. Everybody was laughing because it was a hilarious scene. Like, and they did not do it justice in the trailer, and I'm glad they didn't because
I'm glad to.
it was much better to see it in person.
It was shocking and hilarious.
Yeah, like,
He's still a child at the end of the day.
Yeah, as a child, and you're beating the shit out of adults.
Adult men with a child.
With a child. It was hilarious. And the thing is like I really like the fact that they gave Kong emotions, right? They've always done that. But when the baby Kong took King Kong into that lake as like and set that trap up, I was like, yo, what's about I'm not gonna lie, I was like a little ass kid. Like, even though I know Kong has to survive, I've seen the trailers where there's obviously things that happen. I was like, oh no, like Kong, he's gonna get really fucked up. And then the next scene he throws that giant ass serpent head.
Gyarados?
Yeah.
Gyarados, whatever.
Yeah, it's a fucking giant Dratini, it looks like.
Yeah, fucking evolved magic carp and shit. I mean, he threw the damn head at baby Kong. I was like, yo, that is absolutely hilarious. That was so bad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that was such a badass moment because, granted, I like to see all the fighting. I like to see everything. That in of itself just shows you the power of Kong and how like this dude just literally fought off like 4 other apes, beat a kid with beat off adults with a kid pretty much, and then fought the serpent, killed it, and then had enough and pretty much dragging his body parts for them to eat. I thought it was just really cool. I really enjoyed that whole segment, and I really didn't think I was gonna like the whole Baby Kong thing because in the trailer it kind of looked kind of cheesy.
It looked annoying. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looked stupid.
It looked really stupid.
No, you get used to it. You watch enough Godzilla movies, you start getting used to like the really dumb babies.
But when the trailer,
but this wasn't.
They made him look cheesy. That's what I'm saying. In the trailer, it's just kind of like it's just like, oh, like this is gonna be a bad like, oh guys, we gonna have nothing else to do. Let's just throw a Baby Kong.
Story. The trailer. Okay, the trailer made this movie. We were coming off -1. The trailer made this movie look stupid as hell, and we all had the same reaction. We all rolled our eyes and be like, all right, we all know what this movie is gonna be.
Pretty dumb movie.
It's a dumb movie, but here's the thing: we had fun with the dumb. I thought it was going to be dumb and bad.
Yes,
but it was dumb and good.
So it's an American movie, basically.
Huh?
It's an American. You know how some American movies are just dumb, but it's all right.
I mean, that's for any genre. That's for any country's movies. What you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying this compared to the other Godzilla movie that came out.
The Japanese.
Wait. See, this is a perfect. This is a perfect.
Japanese one was nominated for a fucking Oscar.
But no. This is a perfect example of people not knowing the history of Godzilla. Right? Godzilla movies in the past were stupid fun movies. They were dumb and they were gimmicky as hell. I mean, everybody who knows any old Godzillas, where Godzilla is literally doing a flying foot kick with his drop kicks with his tail.
You can say that about any old school movie. Then you can say that about Spider-Man. You can say that about almost any genre of movie or series. They're all kind of like goofy in the beginning.
Don't hate on.
Am I wrong? I'm not hating. I'm not saying.
You are hating.
How am I hating?
You're saying it's
You're a
just a
hater,
typical
Ed.
dumb American movie. There's
Well, I
other
like the -1 Godzilla. I like it a lot.
okay.
No, I mean, here's the thing. This franchise has taken such a turn. The 2014 Godzilla, I love that movie. It is completely night and day. To see
Different.
where we started and where we are is nuts to see where the monster
Mhm.
verses come from.
Yeah.
Like we definitely took a fork in the road somewhere back 2 movies ago. And I would love to have gone that 2014 route. I love how dark it is. But I mean, I'm not hating
I
that we
mean,
ended up here.
we've already had a masterpiece when it comes to dark
Yeah, no problem.
Godzilla movies, so
Yeah.
that's checked off the list.
But I think
Thank
the different
God they're doing where the American one is like taking a whole different approach and just going balls
Yes,
to the wall
yes. Thank
kaiju,
God.
because
Thank God.
that's that's what makes it watchable. I don't want to watch a shitty copy of -1. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
yeah. Well, you gotta think about it. Like -1. I still haven't seen it. I'm waiting for it to come out on streaming or DVD or something. I'm
Mm.
dying to see it.
Mhm.
But for -1, for everybody I heard that watched it, that is actual like a story, right? It's not
Mhm.
just Godzilla just
Mhm.
being Godzilla and that's it. Oh no, like past Godzilla movies. This was a well thought out, well directed movie. And I think one of the biggest complaints from previous, especially for these are two different audiences for sure. From like where the -1 audience, then to the American audience with Godzilla. Our Godzilla, the people want action, right?
Mhm.
We want action. We want to see big monsters, and we want to see nice special effects. I think
Mhm.
the 2014 Godzilla, the problem with that, and I think I mentioned to you guys that they've rectified this in the Blu-ray version, is that they lightened it up. Like the first
Oh
Godzilla
yeah,
was supposed
too
to be
dark.
too dark. It was supposed to be like mysterious and like typical, like old school Godzilla movies where you really didn't see Godzilla to like the very end. Like Godzilla wasn't like in every scene blowing stuff up. They tried to have that in the same American type version, and people kind of didn't like that. If you're a kaiju fan, you're a Godzilla fan. You're gonna be hyped to see Godzilla. But for the
Mhm.
average American audience, they're gonna be like, I want to see the monsters. I want to see explosions. I want to see fighting. The first Godzilla really didn't deliver on that, and they've gotten better over time. And the one thing I really enjoyed, and we can see this from Monarch to Godzilla versus Kong, and so forth, is that they lightened it up tremendously. You can see everything that's going on. They're not hiding Godzilla anymore because it's like
Mhm.
the mystique of Godzilla is kind of over at this point. They want to see the fighting. It kind of reminds me of like Pacific Rim, right? Pacific Rim, people didn't want to see the mechs kind of in the background and not really fighting. Nah, they want to see a freaking Gundam,
Yeah, yeah.
like, or a big old Jaeger destroying the town using freaking barges and boats as freaking swords and shit. And that's what we got in this one. And I think that's absolutely amazing. I
Mhm.
love the fact that Godzilla is not hidden. They have him in Egypt in at noontime, literally, suplexing King Kong through a pyramid. Like
Yeah.
Mm.
I would wish I was in that boardroom and be like, all right, we gotta come up with a story, guys. Like, all right, like we could, have Godzilla just in the water somewhere really dark and deep, and he's just gaining
Mm.
power. And somebody was
Mhm.
like, nah, I kind of want Godzilla to do an RKO off the
Mhm.
top rope and and Stone Cold uh King Kong through a portal. And I'm
Mhm.
like, and everybody's there for it. So no, I really enjoyed the fact that they made the fork in the road. Let
They
Japan
they
have their
embraced they
serious.
embraced it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let Japan have the serious, deep Godzilla. You could have I always say, what's his name? The 1999 Godzilla with
Oh, the Zilla.
Zilla.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, Zilla as it's
E
called. Yeah.
Diddy,
yeah. You let America have fun with Godzilla.
E
Like
Mhm.
Diddy Godzilla.
Japan, you can make the serious one. The effects of nuclear war and pollution, all this other stuff. Let us
Mhm.
just let let's just let have our Godzilla literally just suplex people through skyscrapers and so
Mm.
forth.
All right,
Um,
I got some information here.
sure.
Legendary's license with Toho to use Godzilla expired in 2020. but
Mm.
but they got it was renewed for this movie
Gotcha.
in July 2022. So And then it says, oh, listen to this. In January 2022, Legendary announced plans for a live-action TV series centered on Godzilla and other Titans. Godzilla and other Titans. A television show. So this is like not Monarch, but from the monster perspective. I assume is what I'm looking at.
You sure it's not just Monarch? I mean, because 2
I mean,
years.
It
2 years to
well,
create a show. I mean,
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
They could be talking about Monarch, but I don't know. It doesn't have a reference here.
Okay. Well, I'm happy if we don't get another Godzilla. I'm kind of okay with that.
Mhm.
I feel like we've gotten a really great helping of Godzilla, to be honest with you. This is a Godzilla that is fluid, is fast, it is nimble, which is definitely different from the Japanese version. The slow trotting, all destruction, literally a force of nature Godzilla. While we have a Godzilla that's really ready to throw hands, he's traveling across the world, fighting and just throwing hands with everybody.
Just to put hands on people.
I love that. They're like, oh man, where's Godzilla going next? Oh, he's going to Spain. Like, for who? And then all of a sudden you just see that big old spider like
to fight a motherfucker. That's where he's going.
He fights.
He's a jerk. He's going from fight to fight. That's it.
And the thing is where all these like he's literally murking all his kaijus, right?
Yeah.
He killed the spider kaiju in no time. He killed the water one that had all the radiation. Was there another one that he fought? The spider one.
There's a bunch of fights here.
Yeah, there's a few fights.
And Kong fought a bunch of guys too on the side.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, there was a lot of fights. Now, did you guys like the tribute? Apparently, it was a tribute to Dragon Ball Z.
Was it really?
Yeah, apparently, according to somebody, there was a tribute to, like, I think the designer or something. Godzilla's the color that he takes on after he consumes the fucking
did
water
it turn
guy.
blue or did it turn yellow?
Pink.
Yeah.
He becomes pink.
I don't think. I mean,
well, yeah,
there's
a
a
Saiyan
pink
level,
form.
right, with pink hair.
Technically, it's a Saiyan level. If you want to go into detail,
no, we don't.
Technically,
no,
anyways,
it
is
the director
or something.
Well, the director has come out and said that he did not mean to create a tribute for either Barbenheimer or Goku by making Godzilla purple.
Yeah, I couldn't see that happen.
But it was cool though to see him like.
So wait, you're saying it was he did not mean to make it?
Yeah, he did not mean to make.
I think I read.
You got to think about it. This movie came out way before, or this movie was probably done.
Yeah,
way before Akira Toriyama passed away.
Not his death. That's what I'm saying. Just Dragon
Ball Z in general.
Like he because I was looking at it because like he's powering up to another level and he became pink. So I was like, okay, I've seen this before. I've definitely seen this shit before. So, but I guess that's just timing, right? So,
well, I see online everybody saying, he's supposed to be, I skipped over this chapter.
Pink Saiyan.
The rose.
Seriously, fake fan.
No,
fake
it was boring.
So there's what?
Yeah, that one's boring.
What?
I hated that saga.
It was Goku Black. He has his own form called Super Saiyan Rose.
Rose. Yeah.
Rose.
Fake
fan.
I think it's just Rose.
Anyways,
I don't think people say Rose. Yeah, no, that was a boring part of the saga. I skipped it.
That was pretty cool.
You're a fake fan. You haven't even seen the new ones that come when they fight Granola.
Who said I haven't?
Gas.
Who said I haven't? Who said I haven't known about Gas or Black Frieza? Huh?
Have you watched it?
Well, it's not out. It's a manga right now. So
you can't read it.
Yeah. And how about Vegeta's new form, Ultra Ego? Oh,
no, you haven't read
it. Or Gas.
He hasn't read it.
Have you read any?
He's literally just looked at clips. He hasn't actually.
Yeah, he's looking at clips.
Clips of what? There is no anime.
What are you talking about? People still post the manga and they post it on
the
YouTube.
Manga.
Yeah,
that's what I'm asking.
I read the manga because I couldn't wait for the anime anymore because it's been taken for so long.
So you read the manga?
I've read parts of it, yeah. I'm up to the.
He can read
parts of it.
Yes, I can read.
Yeah.
How come you always read parts of stuff? Yeah.
He's
like, I didn't want to spoil myself in the beginning. There's
look at the pictures, guys. The pictures really.
Ultra Ego Vegeta. Super. What's his name?
Now, let's all calm down. We are talking about Dragon Ball Z.
The guy, the one.
Oh yeah.
Gas.
All right.
Doesn't take a high level of literacy here.
So yeah, no, the pink Godzilla was kind of a cool look.
I liked
Um,
him. Let me just say this. Everything I hated on in the trailer phase, I ended up liking. I don't understand how this happened. I don't like Baby Kong I loved. Pink Godzilla I ended up liking. The Gauntlet which had electric powers because it was like tribute to the original Kong versus Godzilla Japanese where he has electricity
Mhm.
powers.
mhm.
Love that. The only thing I didn't like was the ice guy, the ice
Shimo.
The Ice
Shimo,
Dragon.
Yeah.
Ice Dragon.
Yeah.
He just seemed like he was just around for it. You know what I mean? He just doesn't seem like he was invested. I know he was being mind controlled, but like I don't know.
I
Like
wish I had
everyone
better
had some
acting from
stakes.
him.
Yeah,
He didn't really give it his
everyone had a
all.
commitment. Everyone had a
Mhm.
commitment. Shimo just like as there for the paycheck, I think, and he left.
Yeah,
And
he never went to like the table reads.
Yeah, he
no,
really
he
Right?
definitely
did.
phoned
Yeah.
it in. He
Yeah,
definitely phoned it
and
in.
his part at the end where like after the crystal gets destroyed, he's just kind of looking at everybody
Just
like,
like
huh. He's like, I guess I'm gonna attack the guy that's been mind controlling me for thousands
yeah,
of years. And
yeah.
then, I mean, the way that they killed Scar King, I'm not gonna lie, was kind of brutal. But still, I was like,
Well,
I do agree with
Kong
you.
That's
kills.
a
Kong does the
fucking
final
Mortal
death blow.
Kombat fatality.
It
Literally
was.
fatality the shit out
Yeah,
of
It
him.
yeah,
was. Yeah.
And I thought Scar King when they froze him, like when Kong was lifting him up and they froze him in
yeah,
place, I thought he was like, oh, he's an icicle, but that motherfucker was still alive. And
yeah.
Kong literally turned that man to ice cubes, which was absolutely insane.
Yeah,
Um,
smashed all the chunks of ice.
yeah,
Mhm.
that was pretty
Yeah.
good. Not the bigger I guess the issue that I had was one, there's a lot of things that were just too convenient. Now, granted, we're talking about a monster movie, but it's kind of stupid that they found a gauntlet and then the gauntlet had to have some green goo, like, oh yeah, it's going to treat his frostbite. How the why do you randomly have green vials that's supposed to give like steroids? These are literal TRT, like he's on trend, given to God King Kong that's
All
going to
right.
somehow heal his
All right.
frostbite. And
No,
I'm like,
I lost that as soon as they did dentistry on him in the beginning of
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember.
when they pulled his tooth and they were fully prepared to operate on his mouth. I was like, okay,
Mm,
clearly there's a giant
yeah.
cast somewhere. There's like a giant bed somewhere.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
okay with it. I'm okay
there's
with it.
yeah.
a what's it called? A Freightliner's worth of
Yeah.
sleeping meds or something to
Yeah.
Yeah.
knock something that big out. So
Yeah,
it's
they're clearly prepared to treat Kong because he's the most like on our side, I guess.
Yeah.
So I like that
yeah.
idea.
I thought it was
It makes
hilarious.
sense. You want to protect your
Scar
assets, yeah.
King went
Yeah,
up to his mouth and like look, it was
Oh,
making
start
fun of
laughing
his
at the tooth,
tooth.
yeah.
I was like, yo, that's kind of funny.
making fun of it.
Yeah, making fun of it. I was like, yo, that's actually
Yeah.
kind of hilarious. Which it meets his MO. He hates humans for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
So the
Mm.
fact that he knows that he got help from humans is hilarious.
Spoiler,
Mm.
like probably the biggest spoiler that I'm gonna put out there because this was not in any of the trailers. What do you guys think of
Mothra?
our girl Mothra?
Mothra?
I love Mothra.
I busted several.
I am a huge Mothra fan.
I think we all love Mothra.
Yeah.
And yeah, when she came back, she's so cool.
She is
I
cool.
like
as hell.
her.
Yeah.
She's very cool. I'm just so in love with the old
Yeah,
like
the original Mothra.
Mhm.
stuffed looking animal
Yeah.
creature design that whenever they make Mothra look too realistic, I'm like, I miss the old one where she was, more of like a puppet
Or like
She was
a
a
with the
bug.
bug.
wings and shit.
She looked,
Yeah.
but she looked like a big, like you said, stuffed bug. As this one,
Yeah.
she looks like someone just took a moth, like
An
literally took
actual
a
moth and just magnified it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
size times 1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
no, I loved the Mothra showed up.
I also
Mothra,
love that they had like the tribe that worshipped her.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming the one lady was supposed to be one of the twins, the fairy twins. Did they even have the fairy twins at all?
They
Mm.
did in the second movie.
In the second
One
movie?
of the monarch doctors is a like caretaker of Mothra because they show a picture of her
Oh,
and she's a
yeah.
twin and her mother's a twin and her grandmother's a twin that they've been watching over Mothra their entire life.
Yeah.
So she works for Monarch.
I didn't know
So that
that.
was the tribute. Yeah, that's in
Yeah,
the
like
second movie.
that's from like the old movies. In the old movies, basically you would get these fairies. They were like tiny,
Mhm.
Twin fairies.
and they
Yeah.
would like sing. And once they would sing, that would like
Wake
summon Mothra to
Mothra,
come
yeah.
and assist.
I,
Yeah.
I just I'm saying like I didn't know that it was that they had that in this MonsterVerse at all. So
They
that's
did, but they didn't. They leaned away from the like they referenced it
mhm.
and they showed a picture of it, and you know what they were referencing, but they didn't like
They
lean
didn't
into
fully
it.
commit. That's when
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
still
okay.
trying to keep it sort of
yeah,
serious
yeah. That was
before
still
they
close
went
to the
just full
2014.
throttle on this one.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting Mothra whatsoever. This is one of the few movies that I purposely stayed away from being spoiled. So I didn't look at any clips. I didn't look at any reviews whatsoever. I didn't sit there and blame IGN when it popped up on my screen.
Like
Oh, how
father,
about
like
that?
son.
I just actually muted
Did you
IGN.
blame Sweet Baby Ink?
I did. So sweet, you mean Sweet Baby Stink?
No,
Apparently
Sweet Baby Stank. Ugh,
Stank.
that's video game related anyway. But
No,
go on.
they actually did help write this movie. So
Yeah.
Terrible.
yeah, because at first they were actually gonna
yeah.
have all white characters, and they said,
Yeah.
hey, let's make the one really smart guy be black, and then they were gonna have all like white tribesmen in it. They're like, hey, let's just pick some Polynesian people or whatever and sprinkle them in. So yeah, it was crazy. So thank you, Sweet Baby Inc. for that great story direction for sure. No, I think that was
Rebel.
good. I would say the only like what I had brought up earlier about the human interactions. I think the human interactions were really good this time around. Granted, like
Really?
we're saying and I say
They
good
were
comparatively.
so bad.
Okay, is it
No,
worse
Is there any
than
good ones though?
King of Monsters?
I know. Yeah, I know what Creamcast is gonna say here. He's right. No, is it worse than King?
No, King of Monsters was worse because we
Yes.
had more humans,
Yes.
more human
It
time.
was worse, and I rewatched Godzilla versus Kong. What was it called? What was the last one called? Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah,
Godzilla
Godzilla
versus
versus
Kong.
Kong or something
They
like that.
had
Yeah.
the Stranger Things girl and this Australian kid, and
Yes.
I wanted to put
They're the worst.
Yes, I wanted
Did
to
they come
like
back?
put my head through a wall.
No, they
No,
didn't.
they're not back.
No.
Only
Thank God.
one person came back.
One
Was
guy's back,
the black
and
guy.
the black guy's
Because
back.
they were like holdovers from the previous movie, so they're
Movie,
they're
yeah.
like, oh, we need continuity.
Yeah.
I
You know what I
was
mean?
I was watching this movie like everything I was crossing,
Yes.
like don't show these characters, please don't bring these characters. And
Yes.
then the podcast guy showed up. I'm like, fuck, like so. But thankfully, there was a little
Thankfully, it
restraint.
was very.
So I understand what Creamcast saying. The human beings were less annoying
Yes.
because there
Yeah.
was less of them.
And they had people that didn't talk either, which was
Yes, which is beautiful.
I think
Thank God.
somebody was like, "Hey, we got too much fucking dialogue. Like, how about we just
Yeah.
make people that can talk telepathically, and they don't really tell us what they're talking about.
Mhm,
They just make
Mhm.
faces, and they just be like, somebody will be like, "Are you talking about the crystals? The crystals need to come down due to gravity." Okay, and then we saved ourselves an additional 40 minutes of dialogue trying to explain
Absolutely,
gravity.
absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. It was much better than previous movies because I think if you look at
the movie's mostly monsters.
Yes.
And the previous movies was like 50-50, if not it had too much human shit.
Well, even the first one, think of the 2014 Godzilla. It was probably 80% humans, 20% Godzilla.
But
and
again, I like
monsters.
it because how it was handled. I like it because of how it was handled. Now, as we get away from that format into the goofy format, you need more monster. You cannot have these fucking level of human beings running around. The 2014 is like they're actually interesting characters. This one, they're just like, get me away from these people.
Well, it kind of reminded me of when I was thinking about it with Godzilla. Now, I was kind of worried about how they were going to showcase this because Monarch, I believe, is kind of one of the where they kind of slipped back into that old formula where we already talked about like the back in the day human interaction was really interesting. The new people and the kids was really annoying. I feel like I was kind of worried that they were going to go back to that type of formula, and I'm just like, holy shit! Now we're gonna have to deal with people talking to monkeys and all this other shit. But yeah, this formula is perfect. I think this is a difference between what the group that I went to is the same group that I went to go see Ghostbusters with, and everybody kind of that seen both, they agreed like Ghostbusters is just a mid movie, just mid, not really fun. It was just kind of like, this is
Yeah.
I watch it, whatever.
It
This
was a nothing movie. Like nothing was accomplished in that
Yeah.
movie as like a viewer.
yeah,
Like
it's,
there was nothing where I was like, oh, that's interesting.
this really progressed the story.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like this just felt
Well,
like,
they didn't have fun with it. This one had fun with it.
yeah, this
And
like
This one,
this is a
yeah, it
fun movie.
embraced the
Yeah.
goofiness.
I wish Ghostbusters had fun with it. They didn't. They went for the safe route, and it was boring.
Yeah, like this movie felt fun.
They try to elevate things too much, I think, instead
Yeah.
of just having fun, like you said, with a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, can we say it's easier said than done? It's a fine line.
It is a fine line.
This
Yeah.
movie's one step away from being the stupidest shit I've ever seen, and it
Yes.
rode that line very well.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mm.
I agree. So yeah, I mean, good movie overall. If I was gonna give my blurries, I would give this movie probably a solid 8. I think on the fun factor, it was really good. I think they did a great job. Not
Mhm.
just barely enough humans, maybe a little too much still, but
Mhm.
the monster fighting was, that's what people were there for. And I'm not there to see, if you're gonna have a movie where, like, minus one, where it's just one monster, one kaiju the entire
Mhm.
time, then you can do the human interaction. You have to focus on the human interaction. But when you got Baby Kong, Scar, Shimon, or Shimon, you got Godzilla, Kong, Water Serpent, Magic Carp, all these other monsters in there, wolf people,
The
Magic Carp.
wolves, yeah, the wolf
wolves,
guys,
wolf guys,
The
wolf,
wolves,
Mothra.
yeah,
Fucking
like
Mothra.
Mothra, yeah, queen of the monsters. I
Yep.
mean,
Mm.
focus on that. I think Darcy, I think you nailed it perfectly. They told the line. There was a very thin line where this could have been the dumbest shit ever, and this could have gone horribly wrong. But this is, I would say, almost damn
miraculously.
near perfect American monster movie.
Mm.
I would say, yeah, I would say so. That being said, I still like looking at the MonsterVerse, and I think this is probably going to be the end of it. I don't know if they're going to make any more. Like I said, I could see them go in the Kong direction, but um, I think, yeah, like I liked the 2014. I think is really really great. Stands on its own. I like King of Monsters. Skull Island, I'm like, I could take it or leave it. And then I rewatched Kong vs. Godzilla. I fucking hate Mecha Godzilla. He looks so ugly. He looks so
I
terrible.
told you.
Yeah.
It looked
It's horrifying. Like, it's just disgusting what they did with him.
horrific.
Yeah. So that is probably the low
It's
point
bad.
for me.
Yeah.
And the humans are atrocious in that movie. They make it unwatchable.
Yeah.
That being said, like I said, I had fun. 7.5 for me. Still good. Still very good.
I'm gonna give it an 8. It was a fun time,
Mm-hmm.
a fun experience all around.
Now, let me ask you guys 2 questions. Well, one, Green Tuner, specifically for you. Did you watch this with your wife, or did you watch this solo, or with other people?
With my wife.
With your wife. How did she like it? I know she's a
Mm.
critic with. She's very harsh with her
Yeah.
her reviews.
Nah, not too crazy over it. She liked it, but she wasn't as like pleased with it as I was.
Oh, so okay, so it wasn't like she is not because she's not a Godzilla fan. She just wasn't as enthralled.
Yeah, like the thing is, she doesn't know what she knows what Godzilla is, but she doesn't know Godzilla.
Gotcha,
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So to her, it's like, oh, we're just watching a goofy dinosaur fight movie, and so she enjoyed it to that degree, but not to the degree that we liked it.
Yeah, I could. And that's the funny thing. Like, step outside of us, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's actually a fair assessment. This is a stupid dinosaur fighting movie. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like watching. You guys remember Rampage, right? With Rock. It's just like stupid dinosaur. Like, oh well, we have a giant fucking ape and a wolf that has horns now and a crocodile that eats wolves and random other shit. So I can kind of see that how people can look at it.
Will we ever see a mech in here?
Hmm?
Will there ever be a mech in this kind of Godzilla movie?
Well, there was one.
Darkseid just said it, Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, Mechagodzilla.
I'm talking about in this So he was in this movie, or
No, in the previous
No,
movie.
but he's in the universe.
Previous.
I know he's in the
Previous.
universe. I'm talking about like I would like to see like a Mecha Godzilla or something Mecha in this
That's already
universe.
Yeah,
that already
that was the
happened
last
in
movie.
the previous movie, like literally the one right before this.
Yeah,
Oh.
Godzilla versus Kong. I mean,
And you gotta
What?
you gotta close the microwave door. I told you a million times.
the-
Gotta close that door.
no,
Yeah.
what only Toast is gonna
Don't
I don't
stick
say.
your
close
hand
it
in there while
because
the
you're
food
still
is
in it. I
microwaving.
can't. I don't want to close it because you guys are still in
And
it.
sometimes you gotta let them
It's hard to
dreads
close
breathe.
when you guys are in it.
Great job.
Let the dreads breathe sometime, man.
Yeah.
Get some ventilation.
The
up
dreads
there.
breathe. They were free.
Yeah, oh,
Freedom for the dreads.
yeah, free my dreads, man. But no, I mean, so the second question I had for you guys was, so remember there was the old Skull Island movie, right? With what's his name?
Yeah.
What was it
John
called?
The guy
Goodman?
from Roseanne. What's his name?
John Goodman.
No, well,
Yeah.
no, that's Skull Island. There was another Kong movie before that with Jack Black and
Oh yeah, King Kong.
King
Yeah.
Kong. Yeah, was
Yeah.
it King Kong?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
oh,
called
dude,
King
that's
Kong, yeah.
old.
Peter
Yeah, that's
Jackson?
the
Peter
Peter
Jackson.
Peter
King Kong?
Jackson. Yeah. What you
Yeah.
guys?
that's with the guy from The Pianist. What's that?
Adrian Brody.
Adrian
Yeah.
Brody. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I was struggling with that name too. I was like Pierce
Mhm.
Brosnan. I'm like, that's not him.
Yeah.
Adrian Brody.
Mhm.
What you guys think about that one? Because that I think honestly that version of Kong,
Yeah.
that was a really good version. Now, I know it's not in the same universe for sure,
That
but
movie's too long. That was my big
That
takeaway.
movie is
I
way
it
liked,
is a
too
long.
I like the
It is.
I like the Skull Island stuff. Some cool stuff on Skull Island there.
It's
Um,
it's the most faithful recreation of King Kong.
Yes.
Let's just put it that way. Like a lot of love and care and time went into it from Peter Jackson.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I think he got lost in the weeds, and
Yeah.
it became like a movie that you just have to
He's-
like willfully sit through it. Not because it's bad, but there's a lot of fan in that movie that could have
Yeah.
been cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a
a
lot of
little
fan, way
dull.
too much fan in that movie.
And the thing is, and they took out a lot too. They took out certain monsters out of there that you don't
Mhm.
see, certain scenes, and there's stuff that they took out, which is crazy too. So the fact that that movie is as long as it is, or it just feels long, and then on top of that, there was additional like fully fleshed out scenes that they had already shot, and they just didn't put into the actual theatrical release is pretty crazy. So yeah, I just and I was thinking like, you know, we talked about back in the day like Zilla and so forth. King Kong, that was just another. I enjoyed the movie. I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. But you know, since we're talking about Kong, like, hey, you know, let's talk about that for a second.
Have
So-
you guys ever seen the Japanese King Kong versus Godzilla?
Yeah. So
I don't think I
electrical
have.
powers.
Oh,
talking about the old one,
You
or
know
you
what?
talking
He
about
has
the-
electrical powers.
Yeah. Yeah. he had
Dark
ele-
Side.
Yeah, he had electrical powers when he fought Godzilla. Yeah.
He's about the
Oh,
old
but
one.
you know the reason why he has electrical powers?
In that movie,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Originally the script was gonna be Godzilla versus Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Yeah, I remember.
Really?
So and Frankenstein was gonna be powered by electricity.
Electricity, I remember
But
this.
they were able to get the rights to King Kong.
Mhm.
And if you see the abomination of King Kong that they made, it's laughable.
Yeah,
It's
We're talking
horrible.
the costumes absolutely
The
horrendous.
Japanese, yeah.
It's absolutely horrible.
And the reason why they say that he looks so dumb is because one of the requisites for them having the rights to King Kong is the Japanese King Kong could not
Beat Godzilla.
resemble in any
Oh,
way
okay.
the American King Kong. So that's why our
Oh.
King Kong looked much cooler than the Japanese one. But it's a good movie. I still like it though. It's pretty cool, especially when he like bites the power line to like power up.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's a fun, goofy movie.
I think there was something in the contract where he could not defeat Godzilla. Like, so I think the movie ends in a stalemate, right?
It's
I
been a
don't-
while.
yeah, so long.
Maybe.
But I think that in the contract with Toho was Godzilla could not be defeated by King Kong.
Well, yeah,
I
that,
just remember
they're-
the outfit looking awful.
they're keeping up with that same idea. Like Godzilla, Kong would never beat Godzilla officially.
Yeah,
so.
which is kind of a downer. Let him have one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
One
but
where one of them kills the other.
No, just a victory.
Well-
A victory. Just victory.
technically,
I mean, I think in the
Godzilla
last
killed.
movie, yeah,
Godzilla
in the
killed
last-
Kong. Technically, He made his heart
Yeah.
stop, and if it wasn't for the power of
Our love.
love
love.
and jets and jets
Mhm.
Oh, right.
electrocuting
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. That's
American
stupid
gunfire.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he technically defeated Kong in the last movie.
Yeah, so
Um,
but
yeah.
Kong did get him back though. I mean, Kong did whip the shit out of him in this one.
Mechagodzilla kicked Godzilla's ass, which is not believable. And then Kong came back with that sweet axe of his and leveled the
That
playing field.
axe is
That
chef's
axe.
kiss.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss
I'm
with
saying
that axe.
I've
I love
hated
that fucking
the
axe.
weapons, and I'm
Mm.
like, fucking give these guys more weapons.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The weapons.
Give some guys weapons.
Yeah.
No,
I
give the
don't
fucking
want to
monkeys.
see like Godzilla having like 2 like rocket packs in the next one or something weird.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Somebody in the comments of something I was reading was like, just give him a gun next time. Giant-ass gun. Like a Glock.
They're both like in full tactical SWAT gear. Like Godzilla
Yeah,
has like a little helmet on. Like,
Yeah.
Godzilla, he brings
We've
his
given
visor.
up on the world. We've fully given up on the world.
Godzilla, he's like going dark.
Yeah.
Night vision goggles.
The green goggles.
Goggles. Yeah. All
It's
right.
the worst ever because
Godzilla's
there's no way he can sneak in anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
right.
giant-
Godzilla does a stealth takedown. I'd love to see that.
It's like Metal Gear Solid. He's walking around with the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, he chokes out like Ghidorah or something.
Godzilla takes a gigantic pack of smokes.
Yeah.
See, there's like a laser wire or a laser in front of him.
Yeah, that would been awesome. No,
in the world.
the cool thing about it, this is the one thing I did love, and this goes back to I think Green Tuner, you were saying like Godzilla just doesn't give a shit. At the very end, everybody started laughing. Well, I'll say everybody. People were chuckling at the end when Godzilla, he saved the world from Scar, and he could go anywhere else in the world, and he just goes right back to the Coliseum and just naps. And I'm like, yeah, I'm
He's a
like,
cat.
yeah, it's like really, there's nothing you can do to Godzilla. I mean, they can shoot him all day and do everything. I mean, they literally nuked him, and didn't even phase him whatsoever. So
Now,
But
real quick,
I like how they treated it, where it was like in case of emergency, break glass for Godzilla. You know what I mean?
what, it's more for the
like-
nuke?
No, just overall, like the fact that Godzilla is like a last resort type of thing that you want to have next to you
Oh yeah,
when
yeah.
things get tough. But it's not necessarily the one you want first showing up when
Yeah,
things
yeah.
happens. You know what I mean?
That
Like King Kong is great if he shows up because he has a plan and everything. If you
Yeah.
see Godzilla coming your way, he's either coming to kill your entire city or for some reason protect you in some weird way.
yeah.
Okay, let me ask a question here since we were all hypothesizing things. Which fictional world would you pick over this one? Like, would you? Is there a world worse to live in than the MonsterVerse? Like a regular Earth that exists in? Can you think of another fictional world?
Well, okay, you say a world.
A fictional Earth. A fictional Earth.
The
Fictional
whole,
Earth,
the whole
yeah.
Earth.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
reality,
like
like,
the
let's say
Marvel
we lived in
MCU
the-
Earth. Like, all right, would you rather? Like, I was watching this, I was like going, nowhere is safe. No city
Nowhere,
is safe.
yeah, nowhere is
This
safe.
fucking shit shows up everywhere, and you have no chance of running away from any of this shit.
Yeah, first I was thinking like you meant like setting. Is there any worse setting that you could be in outside the kaiju? But no,
No,
Godzilla
Earth.
is by far the worst. Like,
Godzilla.
well, you have to no. Let's not.
Godzilla.
Well, if you live on the coast, you're fucked because that's exactly where Godzilla doesn't really go far inland. for the
I don't
most
know.
part.
They attacked Las Vegas
No,
like in the first movie.
Godzilla doesn't go inland, but there's plenty of kaijus all over
Kaiju.
the
Yeah,
That's
continents.
true. That's true.
Yeah,
And these motherfuckers can show up anywhere.
Anywhere.
Dudes
anywhere,
and portals. It's
Anywhere.
like,
Yeah.
oh, like I'm at Yellowstone. Like, oh man, I have a great time with my family. Holy shit, these guys are just turned into a
Fucking
fucking portal. And then a bison, a massive bison comes out and just tramples my family. And of course, it doesn't kill everybody. It's always in the movies. Everybody else dies but you. So you're the one little survivor.
Yep.
Oh god, yeah, that would be the worst.
I
world.
can't think of another. Like, I'd rather live in the MCU at this point than
Absolutely.
fucking like, or Barcelona. What is it? What's the name of the city in Brazil?
Barcelona.
No, is it?
No,
Oh, you said Brazil.
Spain.
Brazil.
Rio.
Oh yeah.
Rio.
Rio de
Janeiro.
Janeiro.
Rio, man, and then Hong Kong in the last one. I was like, also fucked.
Yeah, Hong Kong
Like,
got
you
fucked.
can never rebuild these places. Like fucking San
Well, at
Francisco in
least
the
Hong
first movie,
Kong. Oh no, Hong Kong got it
Boston in the
bad.
second movie.
Holy shit.
Like, I
Yeah.
mean, what is the point? Why would you even rebuild? Why do they even rebuild?
I
Would
don't.
you even
Yeah, at
rebuild?
that point,
Gotta
can't
do
we
what you gotta
just
do.
like
Yeah, you gotta live
really
somewhere.
concentrate on building like space colonies?
Yes,
Because
Yeah.
there's no
You
point in
build
staying on
shit.
Earth.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
Earth is done. We're fucked.
Yeah.
Anything you build literally will be destroyed tomorrow. Like the fucking Rome. That spider shit, like, where did you come from? Like, some guy was drinking a cappuccino and that shit happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not
So
even
it's
that, that
like,
stupid fucking spider was like literally webbing people like crazy.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the web is not like some little tiny ass web. It's like it's taking up a city block every time it spits. It shoots a web. Like, yeah, you're fucked.
And
You
then
can't save the
Godzilla
building.
shows up. Yeah, yeah. And then Godzilla shows up and saves the day, but he kills 1,000 people to save the day because he moved his tail slightly. And you're like, oh, thanks, Godzilla. You saved us, but you killed my entire block.
Yeah, but at least the 2014 Godzilla, I gotta give that Godzilla credit. That Godzilla knew streets, knew how to travel along streets, and I mean the big battle at the end.
Consider it.
Yeah, he kind of messed up
Well,
stuff.
that 2014 Godzilla was doing the stealth takedowns.
Yeah,
He
he
was the
was.
yeah, he was that Godzilla. Or if you're looking around like, where's Godzilla? And you see his head upside down, like behind him. Like, yeah, that was that 2014 Godzilla. Rest in peace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's man. I really hope they do another Godzilla movie because I mean I feel like as a fan, you can never give me enough Godzillas at this point, especially if you keep
Absolutely.
refining the formula. But if this is
Is
the
this the
last
golden
one,
age? Is this the golden age of Godzilla? What the fuck's happening here?
it
Like,
kind
if
of is.
we shouldn't have it this good. We do.
We do, yeah.
Marvel sucks. Godzilla's doing well.
What's
Very
happening to the
interesting.
world? What's really happening to the world?
Exactly.
We never would have thought in a million years that American Godzilla after Zilla that we would have gotten this good of. I remember when 2014 Godzilla was announced and everybody was rolling their eyes. They're like, "Oh, here we go again. Americans fucking shit up again." But yeah, we've done it. So really
They
good
did
stuff.
okay. They did okay. Well done, Legendary.
Yeah, really quick before we jump to our next topic.
Mhm.
The budget. How big of the budget do you guys think this movie was?
I
Taking a
don't know.
guess.
150
Enormous.
150
Bigger
million.
than minus 1.
200.
135.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
That was pretty
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, really close. But yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. 135 million, and they made so far worldwide opening weekend 209 million. Let's say 210 million, pretty much.
So I'm pretty sure that Legendary and Toho are going to work together again because this probably was very, very good for both of them.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
very lucrative for all these fools.
Toho making money.
Yeah.
Toho's definitely making money.
Yeah, especially when they can produce a $10 million Godzilla that wins freaking Oscars and so forth.
Oscars and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they got
And they can get their fucking cherry with their like budget this big blockbuster.
Yeah,
And they don't even have to do any work.
Absolutely.
Right. So.
But in all in all fairness, it's not like Toho has always been on top. Like Toho has always been like the tiny studio with the biggest star in the world.
Yeah.
So Toho has always like worked with like a super limited budget. And now that all this like success is happening, hopefully Toho is more open to sharing Godzilla with the rest of like the world and having it Godzilla crossover into more things.
I don't know. I tell him to just do what you're doing. I think if not, pull it back. You know what I mean? Like, you let Godzilla out a little bit. It was okay. Now fucking close the door for another 10 years. I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, they've
You
been kind of
get it
unshrewd.
though. If it's making money, you know they're gonna milk it as much as they can.
I don't know.
Yeah,
The
no,
Japanese
Japan-
are
oh, for sure they'll make it.
Japanese don't always play that game. They
No,
don't
the
always
yeah,
play
you're
that
correct. The
game,
Japanese
so.
don't play that
Toho
game.
plays that
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
Toho is notorious for selling out.
Milking?
Well,
getting milking, if they can make money.
Yeah, I mean, there's a shit ton of Godzilla movies and Godzilla crossovers, cartoons, and everything else over in Japan that we never see. So
that's true. Yeah.
I just hope that for what happens next in Godzilla, they continue just to make good Godzilla movies at the end of the day. And because I
Amen.
mean they've been on a
Amen.
roll. Like the last couple Godzilla movies in the past like 10 years have been really good. I mean we still coming off the heels of Shin Godzilla, which was amazing for its time. I mean,
Mhm.
Shin Godzilla, oh, it's so good. It's still my number one.
out of all the Godzillas, that's your number one.
Personally,
Yeah,
is my
Yeah,
number one.
he's pretty much up there for me too.
Yeah,
He's just
I said
he's
personally.
too
I recognize
evil.
he's
minus
absolutely
one
evil.
as being like a much like cinematically speaking, just a perfect movie.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But personally, Shin Godzilla is one that I can watch a bunch of times and still love it and find new
Same
things.
for me.
yeah. I mean, I loved it. I love Shin Godzilla, and I loved it. I have to see Godzilla -1 before I make my final decision on Godzilla's. But I mean, Shin
Mhm.
Godzilla is definitely up there for sure.
Sure.
All right, all right. So moving on to our next topic. Obviously, we're talking about our weekly episode of X-Men '97. Did everybody watch that? Ed, did you watch that?
What if I didn't? What would you
And you
say?
will be total failure.
Yeah, I mean, you're a slight
No,
failure.
no. I said, what if I
Yeah.
didn't? What would you
Then
say?
Yeah, you said you'd be a total
you'd be
failure.
total failure, and I wouldn't be
What
shocked.
if you didn't? What would everyone say to you?
I mean,
Impossible.
possible failure, yeah. But it's impossible. I'll always watch what I need to watch.
False.
So,
But yes, I have seen X-Men '97.
Oh,
nice.
Thank God.
All right. So X-Men '97. I forgot what the name of this episode was. Does anybody know off the top of their head?
I don't know the name.
But yeah, we went ahead.
Matendo Life Death?
Nintendo like that?
Montendo. Oh,
Mo-
slash light.
Matendo
Let's do
slash
that.
Life Death.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, so yeah, no. Recent episode. Oh, this is part 1 too. Part one, by the way.
Part 1 of Life Death.
Yeah, life death. So, yeah. Obviously, I mean, what do you guys think? I feel like it's more of the same. Honestly, I think this was actually a pretty cool episode.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I don't think it hit the highs of the last two, but it was cool. They've done this same like two different stories before in the old series.
Mhm.
So yeah, I liked it, but it felt like filler.
It did feel like filler.
The first one felt like filler. The second part is definitely moving the overall story forward.
You took the words out of my my mouth. It felt like a filler movie. Felt like a filler episode.
Yeah, because I mean, really, it felt like it was a, like, hey, we're gonna just reference this character really quick and blah blah blah, and there's really nothing that came out of it other than now Solar Guy and Jubilee are now
An
a
item,
couple.
yeah.
They're an item now.
So I mean, it carries my trend
Did
forward.
they do it?
The fuck, Ed? What?
Ed, why would you ask that for a kid show?
Yeah.
Is this a kid show?
I would say this is a kid show.
I believe so.
The
I
original,
mean,
series,
this is
the original
PG.
series was a kid show. Why wouldn't this be a kid show?
Yeah,
This is PG.
the original series was a kid show, but yet this I feel is directed towards those kids who are now grown-ups.
Yeah, but it's still a kid show.
Yeah, it's still a kid
there's
show,
still, like,
yes.
there's nothing
Well-
in there to indicate that it wouldn't be.
It's PG.
Unless you saw something else in the last.
Well, no, I
Yeah.
didn't see anything else. It was just
that's
at
what I
the
thought.
end when they kiss, Jubilee and I forgot the guy's name. They
Mhm.
lay down on the bed and then the screen went black.
Well, she's 18. She can do whatever she wants.
Yeah. So PG.
I mean,
is
yeah.
yeah, PG. You can. I mean, it's for people 12 and up. So,
I was gonna say this carried the tradition from the '90s, from when I was a kid, of not being crazy about the Mojo episodes. They're just not. They're just kind of boring to me.
yeah, I didn't really take.
I'm just not a fan. I like, I've never liked any of the Mojoverse stuff. I'm
Mhm.
not a huge long shot. I like Spiral. She's cool, but
Yeah.
like they never use her in anything that's interesting.
I like Spiral because of the Marvel game.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
like that's the only
Pretty much,
where I
yeah.
really know Spiral from Marvel, of the fighting game. Yeah, and
I
that's
had
about
the
it.
toy back in the day. That's where I know her from.
It's a cool
Spiral toy.
character design.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
it
cool,
really
yeah.
was. It really was.
Yeah. No
Yeah, no.
long shot. Who was expecting long shot? I was expecting him at any moment to pop up in
Mhm.
this episode somewhere, and there was no long shot. So kind of disappointed there.
Well, I like the animation during the
Oh
arcade
yeah, that was cool.
transitions.
Yeah.
Like I
Oh,
was
where
like,
was
yo,
like the old beat 'em up?
yeah, old beat 'em up style. I'm like, yeah, that is really, really cool that they did that. And they kind of did that cross reference with that
Now,
art style.
did Magneto say welcome to die?
Yeah, welcome to die.
He
Oh,
didn't
you think he
say it,
was
right?
gonna
No,
do
he didn't
that
say it.
one
No.
thing?
No.
Like
Okay.
the
I was waiting for him to do it because they were building it up like it's he's gonna say it, he's gonna say it. Nah, he doesn't say it. It was
mm,
weird. Unless
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah, it's like Mojo. I barely remember Mojo from
Mm.
just the old comics or anything, any place he's been in. So it was like okay, it was kind of cool to see it, but yeah, like the first part of the episode, I was just kind of like it just kind of came out of nowhere, right? Like
mm,
Motendo, it's like, hey, it's my birthday, and let's go into my room. And wait a minute, why is there a Motendo? And
Mhm.
it's like it was almost like a side quest that happened.
yeah.
And I'm just like, okay. And I mean, I was like paying attention, sitting there. I'm like, what's actually going to happen? Where is this going? I would say.
Mhm.
And then I saw like nothing came about it. It was just like, oh, we beat the guy in the same episode, and in half the episode, in 15 minutes or less, and then we get back to our world, and the first thing we want to do is make out with one another. And I was like, okay. And then the next
Yeah.
thing to go to is Storm, and I'm just like, oh, okay, this is the real story.
Mhm.
Um,
And another makeout scene. Well, didn't happen, but you thought it was gonna happen.
well, I mean, I thought it was gonna happen too, but yeah, Storm is going through a crisis at the moment, trying to get her powers back.
Mhm.
Yeah, this episode just wasn't hitting. It wasn't crazy exciting. I think the shadiest part about this episode was when Magneto, man, Gambit just doesn't know when to quit, man. That man, he's outclassed, but he's still trying to get that Rogue Punani, knowing that he can't touch her, but he's
Mhm.
still trying to get it. He's gonna wrap it up and do it some way. And
Wow.
Magneto just cucks the shit out of him every single time. And I'm just
Hell
like,
yeah.
that poor, that poor, like, no, not only does he know how many scoops of sugar that Rogue has, but he's pretty much telling him, I don't take orders, I give them. Like,
Mhm.
what? Like, dude, like you just got punked in front of your girl, dude. Like, just stop.
If it is his
Um,
girl, but
I mean, yeah, Magneto. I mean, they're together now, but well, they're not really together, but you know,
No, no.
but Gambit, he's trying, man. He is putting everything that he can, but he's still respectful to Magneto, him being the boss. But yeah, this
Mhm.
episode wasn't really that exciting to me overall. I
Yeah.
don't know anything like any comic relations to the ending with Storm.
Yeah.
Spoilers for anybody listening. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. So Dark Side, I don't know Green Tuner or Ed. Do you guys know anything about that?
Yeah,
uh
the guy they're fighting.
Yeah.
He's a character in the comics called the Adversary. I thought it was Shadow King for a while because that's a lot of Storm's stories revolve around Shadow King.
Mm-hmm.
And when he saw the eyes, I was like, oh, it's fucking Shadow King. No, but it's Adversary. And he has to do with like Forge. So this is from comics. This is
Okay.
like a story from the comics. That's actually pretty good, but I don't think they'll do the whole
Ah.
story. Let's call
Yeah,
follow
I'm
the
not
mutants.
familiar with the adversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's in
not
there.
either.
He's like a Forge character.
I thought they were going Mr.
Ah, okay.
Sinister again for a minute, but then like, oh no, that's not. Nah, they're not doing that right now.
What's
I honestly don't know where they're going with this now.
Well, I like that they're intermixing the old Rogues Gallery and adding new classic villains. So like the adversary is new, but he's new to the animated universe, but he's from like fucking 80s. He was a character in the 80s.
Yeah,
So
it
I'm
was.
excited. I'm excited to where they can go because there's a lot of cool characters they can introduce into the new X-Men universe. So
Well, I gotta be
There's a
I
lot
honest.
to pick from.
yeah,
Yeah.
This
I
was
thought
kind of.
yeah,
Huh?
good.
No, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah, it was kind of felt disappointed. I would say. I mean,
I don't know if I was disappointed. Like I think like okay, this episode I was not disappointed. I thought that the flash of the first part with the Jubilee story was entertaining. I like to see I like Jubilee as a character and seeing her like an older version of her use her powers at full capacity was cool. So that's an interesting take. But like it's just like it's a filler episode, but it's not a bad filler episode. It moved the story forward and it was entertaining. I was entertained by the Jubilee stuff. Is it ideal? Like, is it on my list of, will it make my top 10 of the season? No, probably
Yeah.
No.
not. But like I said, I like quality wise, I'm still very satisfied with the series.
I mean, it's hard to explain. It's not bad. It's just that coming off of such a high of the first, what was it, 3 episodes already?
This
We're
is
3 episodes in, right?
yeah, 3. Yeah, this is the 4th one.
This is the fourth. Yeah, just coming off of such a high of the first 3 episodes, I'm like anticipating like what's gonna happen next, and like, oh, we're on a side quest.
Mhm.
Okay, I didn't see this coming at all.
Why didn't you? Because it's in the original series all the time. They did the side quest stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're what? We're only 10 episodes, 7 episodes.
Yeah, I think it's 10
So
episodes.
yeah, so I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, they have to, get these episodes done pretty a decent time, a decent
Yeah.
manner.
Yeah.
So they're not going to, spend as much time as they did, as the previous cartoon did, doing side quests and stuff like that. Like that was fun and dandy, but that was like what, 20, 30, 40 episodes in
No, that was, I mean, the most of
altogether.
20. No, they had side quest episodes within the first season, within like the first 6 episodes.
Yeah, but I mean, this is only like what? So how many episodes is this going to be?
10 episodes.
10.
10 episodes. All right, so
Yeah.
there's only so much you can do in 10 episodes.
Yeah, but if you consider that it was half of one episode that they did this, like, so they clearly, it was an idea to have, they sat, like, I'm glad that they sat down here and said, look, we want to do a Mojo episode, because a Mojo is a big part of the original animated series, right?
Mhm.
It's part of a lot of my memories, even though it's not one of my favorite episodes. There's a
Mine
lot of
either.
fun. There's a lot of fun you can have with Mojo, especially with modern takes on technology and video games and VR, and like his Mojo can be more interesting than he was in the 90s today, right? So when they sat down and did that, I was like, I think it's a cool idea. Like, but I also think it's a great idea that they were like, well, we do a half episode, and that'd be like, we have like a fun half filler, and then we keep the episode moving instead of a full filler episode. They did like 50-50. I like that. I thought it was a good idea. And I thought we got something entertaining out of it.
Yeah, I do remember Mojo, and I did play the Sega Genesis version of the X-Men. Mojo was in the game, and there's also a secret in the beginning, like right in the beginning of the game, in the danger room. You can somehow, I think, go into Mojo. You can see Mojo, and he'll take you somewhere in the beginning of the game. But I was never a big fan of Mojo. I think that's, I don't know, it just hit different for me, and not in the good way. It's good episode. It's just like, I kind of wanted more out
I
of
mean,
what you guys gave
like,
me.
I want, do I want 10, like,
I
all
want
every
10
episode?
bangers.
You can't, like, I mean, I wouldn't ask that of anyone and expect that of anyone, because you're asking for disappointment if you do that. So I'm,
I got
like I said,
disappointed anyway.
I'm fully satisfied with where we're at. Like I said, I thought it was fun. Like, I
Yeah,
really don't have
it
anything
was a
else to
fun
say.
episode. It's a fun episode. It just coming from the first 3 episodes, it's like, okay, we're on this hype train. This is actually really good. And then, oh, okay. I mean,
Well, I'm looking at the
cool.
original X-Men, all the episodes. One, I remember as a kid,
Mm.
I thought there was 1 billion episodes in X-Men.
Yeah.
And really there's not that many. I mean, there's only probably about 100
The
at
seasons
best.
aren't as long as you think they are.
Yeah,
I know,
as a
yeah.
kid, I thought they
Like
were
short,
like, oh
long,
my.
short. Yeah.
As a kid, you're going months, and then there's repeats and so forth. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, there's hundreds of episodes, but yeah, you're literally watching 4 episodes a month. But with that, yeah, I can see, like, we can't expect too much, right? This is not an hour long episode where they can be able to pack a lot of story in and this, that, and the other, and like a full graphic novel of an X-Men cartoon, right? This is 20 minutes, 30 minutes,
Mhm.
30 minutes altogether, but really just 20 minutes of action, and they can only put so much in. So I think we
It's
need to
also
kind of curb.
unreasonable expectation. Like I don't expect that from my anime. I don't expect that from my television shows. I don't expect that from my comic books. I don't expect that from anything. I want everything to be a 10 out of 10 because realistically, I have no context for that. I've never seen anything that everything has been perfect. I mean, you need that's why filler episodes exist to like lull the story a little bit or give time or they serve a purpose, you know what I mean?
I
I'm
would
not
recommend.
expecting a 10 out of 10.
I would recommend. I would disagree with that.
Mm.
Watch if you want a season. I would say that's or a show that's
All
like
tens?
almost tens out of tens
Well, that's
for
all
most.
tens, bud.
Uh, Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen. You will
No.
be. That's
Mm.
really good. I think that's a lot of episodes. Majority of the episodes are really good. But yeah,
Death
no,
Note.
it is. Huh?
Death Note.
Death
No,
Note.
Death Note has
No,
some dumb
they
episodes,
have some. Well, they have some
especially
lull.
the anime.
Yeah, they have some lulls in there for sure.
Yeah, especially when you get to like when we're getting into all Death Note, but as soon as like a certain character passes away, they're like that show should have just
Did it
you're
start with an L?
Ugh, they're so lame. Fucking
This guy.
yeah. There's a certain
Yeah,
character passes
spill the
away.
rest of the name out of it.
Yeah, fucking just ruined
Um,
it for a whole bunch of people, asshole.
yeah, what a
I know
jerk.
I said it started with an L. It could be anybody.
Yeah, okay. No,
Laito?
I feel as yeah, you have to kind of curb your expectations. Like not every episode is gonna be a banger. I even remember from the original X-Men, not every episode, especially outside once you start getting outside the main storyline
Mhm.
of everything wasn't an absolute banger every single one. So
Oh, there's when I rewatched it, there's 4 episodes I skipped.
yeah, no, there's
I started and I was like, no, I know where this is going.
now I'm looking at some episodes right now, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I remember this, and I as a kid, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, this episode wasn't all that. Like,
yeah,
there's certain
yeah,
things you can absolutely skip,
yeah.
be perfectly fine. So with that being said, I'm excited just to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I'm not as well versed into all the lore and comic book stories that these people can get into.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see
This
what
is why you
happens.
say L.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, well, and
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Ed. I'm just not. I just don't have the time for all that. But hey, I've this, and the thing is, I can go in. I'm going in this fresh. So for me, I'm going in not knowing anything for the most part. I still haven't watched all of the original seasons, so
Mm-hmm.
or the original series. So I mean, I'm still a little bit behind on that. But so I'm
Mm-hmm.
going in fresh, and for the most part, I'm enjoying myself. Um, so yeah, I know. I think this past episode was okay. Wasn't that great. I would give it probably a seven
Mm-hmm.
out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Not horrible, not great. It was good. It was. I would say it was very not very good, but it was good. Really, I don't say really good, really good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't nothing special. At the same time, so
Mm.
yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, we're only 4 episodes in, man. We got 6 more
Yeah.
to go. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I will also give it a 7. I think that's pretty much nailed it right where I think it is. It's the 7 episode.
yeah,
I'll give it 6. I forgot about a lot of the stuff until you guys started talking about it. It
Mm.
didn't stick with me at all.
Yep.
yeah. What
I'll
you
have
got?
to I'll have to give it so I did notice a few Easter eggs. The cartridge did look like the Sega Genesis cartridge of the game that I played.
The original
A
one.
little bit, a little bit, yeah. It didn't have Apocalypse on top, but on the top right, but it was close enough of Wolverine popping out in front. But I give it a 6.5.
Mhm.
Is I feel like my hype was maybe that might be it. The hype was here. And then man, just watching that because I was mid before the episodes came out, and then episode 1, 2, and 3 saw it. Very hyped.
You were
S-
mid before this series came out? You
Yeah,
weren't hyped for it?
yeah, because I was scared for it. Like, okay, this might be you're taking a childhood gem. It can go so many ways. It can go terrible, it can go great, it can be mid. So it's like, okay,
Mm.
This is
I
why you don't read those gossip blogs
I didn't.
of how
I
IGN.
do this
yeah
with everything.
IGN and
If you take when they took Batman and made
That's
Batman
true. That's
Begins,
true.
when he made Batman Begins, I was very like mid, open minded about it. I saw the movie with Jake and I think Dark Side
Mm.
on the same day or two separate days. before seeing it, I was like very mid, very scared because we're coming from Batman and Robin. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go.
All right, we don't need to get into Ed's,
First off, we weren't coming from Batman and Robin.
What was after? What was before Batman Begins?
I mean, I think the last one was Batman and Robin. That was like,
That's what I'm talking about.
Many years
That's what I'm talking
later.
about.
Oh,
That's what I'm
shit.
talking about.
well,
Booyah!
as we know, Ed
Booyah!
famously walked out of the theater.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Yeah,
that,
of course.
but Ed's acting like it was like
so-
a year or 2 years. I mean, we're almost one a decade.
Did we or did we not come from Batman and Robin?
I mean, how many years
Was that the
did
last
come?
movie? Was that
Ed,
the
It
last
was a
movie?
big gap.
it's not
Was
gonna
that the
be
last movie
yeah,
before Batman Begins? Yes or no?
Yes, but you
There we
did.
go.
We didn't just
Questions.
come from it. It's like you're saying, like, oh man, like we just
Was
had
that
there was
the
a
last?
long- there was a-
You
was
said
a
that was the
long-
last movie.
there was a long
And you know
gap.
why there was a long gap? Because of that
Yes.
movie's fault.
Well, no, there was a long gap, and they just didn't know what to do with it. They had competing
Exactly.
ideas, right? So, and a lot of other movies came out in between that period that showed them how they could correctly do that. You know, part of that was Spider-Man, part of that was X-Men, part of that, you know. So there was a road being laid. Excuse me. So it was more than
And
just coming off Batman and Robin. So it was a
But-
little more complex than that. Thank you.
as for X-Men 97, we were what, 20 years from the last one?
Yep.
The last episode?
Yep.
And people are saying this, people are saying that, and Disney has not had a good track record recently of
Well,
making
here's the
good
problem.
content.
Here's the problem with you at Underground.
You
It was
hear what I
Creamcast-
said?
Creamcast
Disney
just said
hasn't
it.
had a good track
you-
record
That's fine.
recently.
And you just said it with your own mouth.
Yeah,
People were
because
saying this,
some
and people
people
were saying
send it.
that.
Yeah, because some people sending stuff in the chat. So,
some people.
it's right
Mhm.
there in
Well,
front
I
of
mean,
your face.
I was there for the same build up,
Yes.
and I was at 10, and it delivered. I'm very
I
happy.
was mid. I was open minded about it. Let's see what happens. This is a
Yeah.
childhood gem. This can go so many ways. And
Mhm. Mhm.
the first 3 episodes, great. So my mid level was it. And then 3 episodes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, thanks
So
to
now I'm like
people saying.
Mm.
Because what?
All right, Ed.
So
All right.
thanks for people saying.
All right.
Yeah,
give
the
us
things you
your
guys sent in the
score
chat.
and
Ed,
I gave it a
this is
6.5.
all right,
6.5?
very good.
Yeah, I said it earlier.
take us out.
Take us out, bitch.
Yeah, creepy ass. Take us out.
Ed, just take us out,
You
please.
say.
Take
This
us
is what
out,
you
Ed.
guys.
Ah,
Take us
You
out,
guys did
Edward.
it yourself.
Take
Did
us out, Ed.
Magneto just fall?
He fucking briefly lost his magnetism. It happens. He's
happens.
old. He's old. All right, Ed.
And still getting some rogue. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 119 of the Blrd podcast. As always, you can catch us live here on twitch.tv/Blrd podcast. And you can also listen to us, our wonderful, beautiful voices, one in particular, on all major podcasting platforms. Until next time, catch you later. Bye-bye now.
Blurry later.
Well.
Oh.
Whoa.